Alright, in this video we're going to be discussing PageRank, also referred to as PR. So if you see someone say PR, the PR is, then a number. They're talking about PageRank. Don't get that confused with a press release, because sometimes people will refer to a press release as a PR. A lot of times when they're referring to PageRank, they'll say, PR0, PR6, whatever the PageRank is. And PageRank is basically a measuring algorithm that Google used to determine the importance of a site. Okay, it's one of the measuring factors they use, but in the last 10 months or so, as of late October 2013, they haven't updated PageRank, which is very unusual. They usually update it every 3 months or so. They update the toolbar PageRank every 3 months. Internally, they update it every day, supposedly multiple times a day, but they haven't updated that toolbar PageRank in a long time, which tells us, things may be changing. They may be gravitating away from PageRank. Even if that's so, it's still important to know what PageRank is, because a lot of people will use PageRank as like the main factor for determining, for like a blog networks or a money site, and it's not. Especially now where they haven't updated PageRank in so long, you can't rely on PageRank so much. You can use it as like a helper, to help you determine. Like it can be like a starting point, or it can be a factor in your judgment. But don't look at just PageRank, especially now when they haven't updated it in 10 months. Very, very important. You can see right here I'm at Google.com. This is called a PageRank toolbar. You can download. Just go to Google, type in PageRank toolbar for whatever browser you use, and it will install something like this where you can see the PageRank of a site right in your browser when you go to it. Google is a PageRank 9 out of 10, which is extremely high. There's only like a few 10s on the entire web. I think like USA.gov is one. Oops. USA.gov. There we go. See, there are 10 here, which is extremely, extremely rare. There's, again, only a few 10s on the entire web. A lot of the sites that are on the web, like, if they're decent sites, they're like PageRank 2, PageRank 3. But again, don't use that as your main determining factor for determining PageRank. Another tool you can use for determining PageRank quickly, if we go and type in, like, let's just do, like, electronic cigarettes. This is called SEO Quake, this plugin here, and what it does is it shows a whole bunch of stats down, not just PageRank, but like the Alexa ranking, Whois stuff, SEMrush stuff. But you can see PageRank right here. PageRank a 4, that one's a 5, so it gives you those stats really quick. That's a 2 right there. That's a 4. Here's my site right here, showing a PR0. Because again, this isn't really a PR0. PR just hasn't been updated in so long. My site's not a PR0. Alright, but that's what PageRank is. Just again, be careful not to make that your main determining factor like most people do. It's a big mistake. But that's what PageRank is. It's what Google uses to determine. It's part of what Google uses to determine the value of a site and help other people determine, the value of a site or the trust factor. But again, it seems like they're gravitating away from that since they haven't updated in 10 months. Very, very unusual for them. Alright, hope you enjoyed this video. Talk to you soon. Alright, in this video we're going to be talking about domain authority, something that's really gained importance, especially lately, and that's another measuring factor that Google uses to determine, the value of a site, how much authority they have, and it's determined by, the more important links you have going to your site, the more domain authority you're going to have. You look at a site like Google.com, or let's say YouTube.com. Let's go to YouTube. And by the way, Open Site Explorer does a good job of determining domain authority for the most part, so that's why I'm using them. And we can see right here the domain authority is 100 out of 100, which is, about as good as it gets. And this is why when it comes to ranking YouTube videos, it's pretty much no rules, because when you have, the higher your domain authority is, the more you can get away with. So when your domain authority is 100 out of 100, you can pretty much do anything you want to rank YouTube videos. You can fire spam at them. You can use the same anchor text pretty much most of the time, and you can get away with it because the domain authority is so high. Okay, because obviously there's over 300,000 domains pointing to this, over 24 million links, tons of social stuff. So, a site like YouTube.com with that domain authority so high, that's why we can get away with that stuff. Other sites, same thing. Stuff like Tumblr and and all those big Web 2.0 sites, their domain authority is so high that you can spam that type of stuff. Twitter, Facebook, you can spam all that stuff because, again, the domain authority is so high. So, again, domain authority is just another factor that Google uses to determine the value of a site. And right now, domain authority is really important because sites with really high domain authority like YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, again, it's pretty much like there's no SEO rules. You can pretty much do whatever you want to rank the property. All right, and SEO Moz does a really good job of determining the domain authority. They mess up a little bit, of course, I'm sure, but they're about as close as you can get to accurate domain authority. So if you want to check out domain authority, I recommend Open Site Explorer, which is a part of Moz. All right, hope you enjoyed this video. Talk to you soon. Alright, in this video we're going to be talking about guest posting. Guest posting is one of our forms of overdrive link. They can be really high quality links. It can be almost as powerful as posting on a blog network site if you find the right people. So, one of the ways you can go about guest posting is contacting site owners that are in your niche and offer them high quality content. I know I've gotten emails like that where someone will contact me. They'll say, hey, I write really high quality articles on whatever the niche is. Let's say gold. I write really high quality articles on gold investing. Would you be interested in letting me, have articles and just, print a couple on your site? And then let's say I just want be able to put one link in there. And, people do it all the time. So if we go and let's go search for gold investing, something like that. What we could do is start contacting these site owners who are ranking well. Or just, they don't have to be ranking well, they just have to have, you can look at you can use PageRank to determine. Again, remember, PageRank isn't everything, but you can still use it to determine. So, for example, this is a PR5. If we could get a link on this URL right here, that would be great. So, we could look up their information, contact them, and then say, I write really high quality content. Would you be interested in letting me, write an article for your site? I would just want a single link in the article. That's it. And the way you can find their information is you can either go to their site and you can look for any type of contact. Here's a contact here. You can that's the easiest way to do it. Or you can go to Google. You can type in who is. I like using Network Solutions for this. And then you just copy their domain name. You put it in the who is search, and then it will have an email for them somewhere in here, and even phone numbers, if you want to call a phone number. These people are from Great Britain, but here's their email right here: christine.woodward@gold.org. Alright, so let's go back here. I guess we contact them. We contact these Daily Reckoning people. That's a PR3, which is that's a good link. Probably a good link, because again, we can't use that to determine everything. Gold Investing News, that's showing a PR4. Places like USA Gold probably wouldn't do it, so just be smart with who. Don't waste your time contacting like Wikipedia. No point in contacting them. USA Gold, if they're a big gold company, they're probably not going to be interested. You can try if you want, but companies like like big sites like that probably wouldn't be interested. And don't be afraid to go to like second, third, fourth, fifth pages. We're just looking for relevant links from good sites. Like USA Today, they probably wouldn't be interested. They're so big. We contact them. MarketWatch is really big. Investopedia is huge. The Guardian's huge, so I'd skip them. CBS News is huge. Maybe I'd contact these people, and just go through and look for sites that have the same type of topics. Find their email them, ask them if you can write content for them, high quality, and just with a single link back to your site. You don't even have to mention the link in the first email. Just say that I'm looking to publish high quality content on your site. If they email you back, then you can discuss that you want to include a link in there. All right. So that's what guest posting is. That's a really good way to do it, is just to contact site owners who are in the same niche as you, then offer high quality content, where you would then mix a link in with the content. Hey everyone, it's Greg here, and today we're going to be talking about how to find expired domains the right way. Okay, when I first started looking for expired domains, I went through a lot of trial and error. I probably wasted tens of thousands of dollars on, domains that aren't that good that I thought were. Following other people's advice, and it really took me a while to grasp the right way to find expired domains, and that's what we're going to be going over today. If you know about expired domains, you've probably heard, get PageRank domains. That's It's not really effective anymore. It can be, but for the most part, it can get you in trouble. It can get you stuck with sites that you pay way too much for that don't do that much for you. So we're going to clear all that up in this video. I'm going to show you how to find them the right way so you're not wasting your money. You won't be dumb like I did and try to do everything on your own, and you don't got to test or anything like I did. I'm just going to show you what's working and the most effective way to find sites, because this is how I find sites for stuff like HailKS, which is doing nearly $1,000 a day in affiliate commission. That site's powered purely by expired domains, which I find the way I'm about to show you. Okay. One of the reasons that PageRank, especially now that looking at PageRank domains, just PageRank is not effective, is, as you can see right here, PageRank has not been updated as the time this video was shot since February 5th, 2013. That's almost a year ago. Okay, it's about 9 months, 10 months ago, something like that. So that's a long time for PageRank not to be updated. It's usually updated every 3 months. A lot can happen in 9 months. New links can be added, new links can be taken away, and that's where PageRank comes from. It comes from other links. Okay, it comes from other PageRank sites, but it's all messed up when it doesn't get updated in a while. Now, it does get updated internally within Google, I believe, every day or something like that. Probably multiple times a day, but to the general public, Toolbar PR has not been updated in nearly a year now. So it's not the most efficient thing to look at. Now you can use it to determine to help determine the value of a site, but looking at purely PageRank, you're going to get yourself in hot water, yourself in a lot of trouble. You're going to waste money. You're going to get sites that aren't that powerful that you think are. You're going to say, man, I got 5 PR5 sites pointing to the site, but it's not moving. Well, because they're not really PR5 sites, all right? And again, that's what we're going to clear up here. So I'm logged into Register Compass here, registercompass.com or registercompass.org. Both goes to the same place. By far my favorite tool for looking for expired domains. This has so many features, and it can take off so much time finding the right domains, as you'll see. This tool saves me. It depends how much I'm looking for domains in a specific month, but this tool can save me 50, 100 hours in 1 month just because of the features it has and the filters and all that stuff. All right, so here's the login screen here. I'm just going to go to domain search. And here's all the filters right here that you can set. There's tons of them. You want to make sure it's indexed. That's one thing you can set right off the bat. We want at least one page index in Google. We don't want de-indexed sites. Okay, so that takes care of that right there. You can do domain age. You only want sites that are, I don't know, 2000 or older. Maybe you want 2010 or older. So you just do less than whatever year you want. So for example, this would only give me sites 2008 and lower. All right. Another filter I use, domain authority. This is a big one. One of the biggest ones. SEO Mize, domain authority. That's one of the main factors I look at when finding domains, because domain authority is where it's at with SEO right now. It's all about domain authority, but it's about real domain authority. Okay, just because SEO Mize says it has a high domain authority doesn't mean it does, and we're going to talk about that when we start doing some examples. But I'll set the domain authority, I don't know, greater than 20, something like that. All right, and then auction type, I'll sort by auction type. I usually only look at public and pre-releases, because usually buy nows is people that know the value of their site and they're trying to get more than it's worth. You probably can find deals with buy nows. Actually, I know you can. Of course you can. But for the most part, most buy nows that you find are going to be overpriced. There's going to be people that know what they're doing and they're looking to, make money. So you can look at those one. You can probably find deals in there, because most people don't go in there, because I don't recommend it, because I don't do it, so most people won't be going in there. So if you want to spend the time going in there and looking at domains and maybe just finding the gems, maybe you can benefit from that. For me, it's not worth it. It's too much time to find 1 or 2 gems every few hours, but it can be worth it for other people. Same thing for reverse and offer, especially offer. I actually never messed with reverse, I don't think. I haven't done it in such a while that I don't remember reverse. But for offer, again, same thing. Most of these are people who know the value of their site, where you'll put in an offer and then they'll come back like $1,000 higher, and it's a ridiculous price. So I stick with public and also pre-release. Public is mostly GoDaddy. It might be all GoDaddy. Then pre-release is Namejet and Snap. Okay, mostly Namejet. So we can start with public, and then what I'll do is I'll do, depends what I got for my schedule, but maybe I'll do ones expiring, expires in next 7 days. I don't know, whatever. All right, or if you want to do if you're gonna be looking for them a lot, every 2 days, something like that. We'll just leave it for 7 right now. Okay, and then you can set any other filters you want. Okay. It's totally up to you, but those are some of the main filters that I use. So let's go to Find Domains. And bam, all of our filters are set. We're looking at these right here. Auction domains, that's the ones we're interested in. Click on Auction Domains and it'll bring up another screen with all the ones that fit our filters. Okay. From here, we want to sort by SEO Moz domain authority. Hit the down one, and it'll sort it from highest to lowest. Alright, so here we are right here. Alright, so now when I'm looking at this, of course, the first thing I look at is the SEO Moz domain authority. Okay. Next thing I look at is the age. The older it is, the better. And the older it is, the more likely it is to match the domain authority. Then I'll look at page rank. I know that the higher the page rank that's showing, the more the site's going to go for, because people still gauge by page rank. Even though it hasn't been updated in 9 months and it's not totally accurate to begin with, they still gauge by page rank. If it's PR5, it's going to go for $500, $600, maybe $1,000, depending who's bidding on it. We can see right here this site's already up over $1,000. It's got 6 hours left. Okay. The next thing I look at is the name of the site. This is important. You can tell a lot by the name of a site. If a site's called MakeMoneyOnline247.com, I'm probably not even going to bother looking at it, because I don't want sites that people blatantly make to make money. Okay, because that means likely they're trying to manipulate. I want sites that have natural links. Like business sites or organizations and stuff like that. Where they have natural links from other sites. So the name of the domain does matter. It can play a big part. You can tell a lot by looking at the name of a site. All right. So I'm looking for like businesses, organizations, natural type stuff like that. All right, now this one right here, it's a PR5. It's already $1,000. I'm not paying that much for this. Even if the links do match, I don't care. I'm not paying that much for that domain, so I'm just going to skip it. Now right here, we got a PR2. Okay, high domain authority. This could be a decent one. Sometimes you got to match domain authority with the page rank. Like if it's showing a page rank or a domain authority this high, with only a page rank 2, even though page rank hasn't been updated in a while, likely there's a lot of spammy links, but we can go check it out because it's only at $12 and it's a 4-letter domain.org, which I like. So let's go to SEO My Site Explorer. Open Site Explorer, that is. And that will bring up the site. Let me log in here. Now, it didn't bring up the right site, so it might be a redirect. Make sure you have, the site that you're looking at is the one that's showing up. Usually it has a message if it's a redirect. There it is right there. The message. So we want to look at the real site, not the one that's being redirected to up here. Alright, so right away I see buy Tramadol online, Xanax. I don't want that type of stuff. So, when I'm looking at analyzing these links, because the main thing I'm looking at is I want the links to match the domain authority. Okay, and we're going to go through some examples to help you understand this, but right away I don't want this because there's tons of spam. When you see anything like drugs or like this type of stuff, buy drugs online, sex, teen porn, anything like that, stay away from it. If it has a lot of the same anchor text, stay away from it. This is obviously a site that someone did SEO for. they went out and got Black Hat SEO links. We're just not interested in that type of stuff, or I'm not at least. All right, so I'm going to skip that one. All right, so here's one. It's a PR5. It's from 2005. The domain authority matches the page rank. It's at $55. News assignment, which means it could be, from that domain name, it could be like a business type website, something like that. So I'm going to go check it out. Oh, and the other thing, make sure you always check the non-www version and the www version, okay? Because sometimes it will show no links for the non-version, the non-dub version, and then it will show all the links for the www version. A lot of the times, sites that are before 2007 or 2008, around there, all the links will be for the www version. Links after 2007, 2008 usually have most of their links at the non-dub version, but it doesn't mean it definitely, but sites before 2007 or so, usually all the links are at the dub version, just to help save you time. All right, this site is a weird one where it's actually showing more, probably showing more for the non-dub, and it's 2005. But we'll go check www too, because this one we had 181. Referring domains. This one has 180. So they're about the same. You don't see that often, but alright, so now this looks like a good site. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to organize by domain authority. Or I'm sorry, organize by domain. Group by domain. So what that means is if there's a whole bunch of links from one domain, it cuts that out. It just does one link from each domain, the top link from each domain. Alright. So right here, I like what I see. I'm seeing branded anchor text, which is URL. More branded, a lot of branded anchor text. Person's name, which means they probably commented on this article. It's probably a blog comment. And what I see here is super high page authority with high domain authority. That's great. Even like links that are like, in the 30s, if they have a link from a 75 like this one, that's probably a strong link. You got to consider page authority and domain authority. All right, page authority is more important. If you got an 80 page authority with 92 domain authority, that's huge. That's a big link for the most part. But even if you have stuff like a 25 page authority with like a 92 domain authority, that can also be a huge link. All right. So you gotta consider both of them. Now, if you have like a 25 page authority with like a 26 domain authority, that's like that's getting down there. Then when you get into like the teens, like a 17 page authority with like a 25 domain authority, those aren't much. All right, but these links are. This is a really good looking, strong backlink portfolio. We've got an edu link here. Love edu and government links. All right. Again, page authority and domain authority are very high. Even for these like middle ones, like in the 40s, they all have like high domain authority on them. So this is a very strong site. What you can also do, even though PageRank is outdated, you can use it to gauge the power of the links. So you can go check out these links and see what the PageRank of them is if you want. I can look at this site and just tell you it's a good site. It's very strong. It matches the PageRank. It matches the domain authority. That's a really good site. Okay. Surprised it's only at $55 with 6 hours. Or I'm sorry, that was updated 6 hours ago. It has 6 days left, so it will go for more than that. But that would be a good site right there. Okay. So let's keep going down here. Let's go down to like the lower, like in the 30s. Because remember, you can use all this stuff to gauge everything. Like for example, we got domain authority 35, PageRank of 3, and then the name of the site is thegreatpyramid.org. So this could be like an organizational type site. Not many people will go after it because it's only showing a PageRank 3. It's pretty old, 2004, which is good. Domain authority is decent, 35 is pretty good. So this is one I would go check out. All right, let's go in SEO Site Moz, which is Open Site Explorer. Alright, so now this version only has 4 links. It's before 2007, so it's probably at the www version. All the links I'm talking about. All right, so there they are right there. And again, when you look at this, again, you're looking at domain authority, you're looking at page authority. Linking root domains, the more the better, okay? Because expired domains can lose links. The more they have, the more chance they have of keeping their links, right? So usually I like seeing linking root domains be 20 or above. I'm not as worried about total links as I am about linking root domains. And then these are all bonuses. If it has social shares, that's a bonus. Okay, if it doesn't have them, I'm not too worried about it, but the main thing I'm looking at is domain authority, page authority, linking root domains. And then from there, we go check out the quality of the links. So right here, we got a foreign site. We could group by domain. I mean, they don't look that great to me. It's hard to tell because they're foreign. You know, with foreign sites, you can always go check the page rank of the links to get an idea. Now you can see the difference with this. Remember, the first link for the other one was like 80 and like 92. That's a pretty big difference. 52. Well, it has a high domain authority. I mean, that's a good link there. It looks like a good link at least. 43 and 85. That's good. You know, the numbers are good at least. 42 and 91 is pretty good. Then we start going down pretty quick. 32 and 46, pretty good. 29.57 could be good. 29.46. It's actually not that bad, as it's hard to tell with foreign sites. Again, you would probably want to go check the page rank of the links. Alright, so if you want, you could, you know, this is one where you'd have to look further. Go check out the page rank of the links. If they have decent page rank for the links, then that could be your gauging factor. Alright? But, you know, anytime, like, page rank 3s are good to bid on because a lot of people avoid them. And you sometimes you can get these page rank 3s for like, I don't know, like 20, you know, $12. Sometimes they can go up to, you know, 100, depending who's bidding on. But if you only bid on, you know, ones that you're getting good deals on, you can get them for a really good price. So here's one that I think looks really good. No, there's less than 2 days left, and it's only at $15. It's from 99, which is great. Domain authority is 35, which is pretty good. Showing a page rank 3. Again, I don't care that much about the page rank, but it's matching up with the domain authority, age, the name of the domain seems like an organizational type website, so it is something that could be a real PR3. That's kind of what I'm using to gauge. So let's go to SEO My Site, Explorer. It's from 99, so the links are probably at the www version. Alright, now this is a redirect, so you gotta be careful about that. We don't want to look at the links to this site. You know, whenever you get this message, be careful. You don't want to look at the links this site's redirecting to. You want to look at the links going directly to the site we want to look at. Okay, so only 2 links at this version, so we're going to put in the www version. Again, we got to click on this to go to the site we're actually looking at, not the site it's directing to. And this version, of course, we got 45. We got more. Okay. Alright, so this was something about, like, the Virginia Range Wildfire or something. Virginia Range Wildlife Protection. So it's like an organization. That's great. That's a great sign right off the bat. I love organizational type websites. The first one here is from, you know, what looks like to be like an official Virginia or a Nevada website, which is good. Page authority 51, domain authority 41. That's good. Then what's something from Squidoo, which is like a Web 2.0. This right here, 44 and 44, looks decent. Now, I didn't organize this by domain, which I could do, but I'm not going to do it because then I will have to maybe go through the redirect again. Summitpost.org, 34 and 72, I like that. Again, we consider page, that's a middle range one, it's decent, but then it's got a pretty high domain authority, so that makes it a lot better. Those are all from the same domain. So this actually looks pretty good. Of course, if you could get this for $12, hell yeah, yeah, absolutely. This domain could do a lot for you, especially for $12. I would even pay like 60 for a domain like this, 70, and that's still a deal. Alright, but I could do group by domain filter, but then I'll go back to the redirect thing, and I don't want to go through that. Alright, so there's another good one. But yeah, just know when you look at these, like the ones with the higher page rank are going to go for more. Okay, you can do whatever you want, and you can really take this to where you want, but just look at everything. Look at the domain authority, look at the age, compare the page rank to the domain authority. If it's a 37 and it's showing a PR2, that's somewhat close. The whole thing is 0 to 10 domain authority is like a PR0. 11 to 20 is a PR1. 21 to 30 is a PR2. 31 to 40 is a PR3, and so on and so on. About. Okay, it's like that's about what it is. So for this right here, like this PR5, what this is telling me is that's low. Okay, it's probably lower than a PR5, even though it could be higher. Because OpenSite Explorer, again, domain authority that they show is not totally accurate. Now, what's not accurate about their domain authority scores, in my eyes, is they give too much credit to no-file links and spammy links, and then they give not enough credit to edu links and government links. Okay, so even though this is showing 37 to a PR5, it could really be like in the 50s if it had like government and edu links, or it could be really in the teens if it has a whole bunch of spammy links. Okay, so you gotta consider that as well. Let me find a site that I know will be spammy. I saw one about porn, which would probably be spammy. Usually .infos are spammy. So let's go look at this one. See, now this is showing a domain. This is a mistake people make as well, is when they learn about domain authority, they just bid on high domain authority domains, but it doesn't really mean it's high domain authority. It just means OpenSite Explorer is showing a high domain authority. Okay? So let's go to the www version. Alright, so there's nothing for that one. I just want to show you one that is spammy. Alright, lesbian sex review, that's probably spammy. Especially when it has a domain authority that high and a PR that low. Usually that big difference can be a sign of spammy links. No, not that much for that one. Check the www version. Alright, so there's more links. So this is somewhat spammy. A lot of foreign links and all that stuff. But usually with spammy stuff, you'll see like a lot of redirects, see a lot of no-follow. Okay, that's the thing. They give a lot of credit to no-follow, when no-follow doesn't really improve your domain authority that much in my eyes. So just be aware that domain authority is not totally accurate in OpenSite Explorer. A whole bunch of no-follow and spammy links can drive up domain authority. Okay, when you see the real natural links, that pretty much matches the domain authority. Alright, if there's government edu links in there, then it's the domain authority, and with other normal links, then the domain authority is likely low, and it's actually higher than it seems. Just be aware of those things, that OpenSite Explorer that's where they mess up with the domain authority, in my eyes, and going by those rules, I've been very successful with the domains I've gotten. Okay, so don't make the mistake of going after just PageRank. Don't make the mistake after going after just domain authority. Combine everything you see when you come in here, and this is something that not a lot of people do. They either just go after PageRank or they just go after domain authority, and I see these mistakes made time and time again. You have to look at the whole picture. What's the domain name? Why would someone make this site? How old is it? What is the domain authority it's showing? What's the PageRank? After all that's considered, go look at the links. do these links back up the domain authority? That's the next step. If the links back up the domain authority, you're good to go. That's the golden ticket right there. If the links back up domain authority, again, if links back up domain authority, it's a great site. Okay, as long as its index meets all of our filters. So that is what you want to look at when you're looking for expired domains. That's how you get really powerful sites. I have tons of low PR sites that will outdo most people's PR5 networks, maybe even PR6 networks, because I go after the links that match the domain authority. Okay, when you have a PR5 site that's a domain authority of 20, or a PR5 site that has like 3 links that are all crappy links, it's not going to do anything for you. Okay, stop looking just at PageRank. Look at the whole picture. All right. There's also different things I look at for expired domains for money sites and expired domains for blog networks, and I'm going to cover that in a different video. What I'll do, since we mostly covered expired domains for blog networks in this site, in this video, in the next video I will cover blog networks. I'll cover expired domains for money sites specifically, because I look for a little different things in expired domains for money sites, and you can look at different things depending on where your skill levels are at. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. Talk to you soon. Hey everyone, Greg here again, and in this video we're going to be talking about expired domains for money sites, compared to expired domains for blog network sites, because when it's going to be used for a money site, there's different things that we look for, or different things that we can look for. Now, there's also different risks involved, or how experienced you are with this, how comfortable you are with it. An expired domain or an aged domain that just has age on it and no links can benefit you, more than a new domain, because it's age. It has age to it, and that's a factor. Okay. If you're not comfortable at all with determining link quality, you can do an aged domain with no links, and that's the safe way to go. You're not going to get as much power as an aged domain with powerful links going to it, but you will still get power from it, and you will get more power than you will from a new domain. Okay? So again, there's different levels here. You can go with an aged domain with just age. You can go with aged domain that has just a few links to be a little safe, or you can go with an aged domain, expired domain with a lot of links to go after a bunch of power right off the bat. I bought a site a couple months ago for $6,000. It had age, it had tons of edu and gov links, extremely powerful site. I believe it shows a PR6 or 7, and it matches the domain authority. And that site was $6,000, which is really, I paid too much for it. It was too expensive, but I got it anyways. And I threw up a site for it, and immediately it was ranking for all sorts of terms because it has all that power going to it already. And then when I started building my network links to it, or my blog network links to it, it's exploding, because again, it has all that power. But when you have all those links, you run into more chances of running into problems if you don't know what you're doing. Okay, you really got to know what to look for, and that's what I'm going to be showing you in this video. And again, if you're not comfortable with it, don't fret too much about it. You can go after age domains that have no links to be safe, and just have the age factor on your hand. But if you're comfortable examining links, that age and those links can play a huge part for you. Those links can really put a lot of extra oomph on top of that age. Okay, so there's different things. There's different levels here that you can go, depending how risky you want to be or how comfortable you are analyzing stuff. All right, but either way, age can help you. Age with links can help you even more. All right, let's go to domain search. And of course, the other thing with money sites, obviously, is you have to worry more about the domain name, right? If you're going to be starting a site on cats, you can't get dogs.com because it wouldn't make any sense. You really have to consider the domain name a lot more when you're doing a money site, because it has to fit, or at least has to fit a little bit. If it's like prnews.com, you can make that about anything really, because it's kind of like a general topic. But again, if it's cats.com, you can't really make that about dogs.com. Cats.com, you can really only make about cats. If it has a very specific niche in the domain, you can't really go outside that niche. So you have to. That's the other thing you really have to consider, is the domain name has to at least somewhat make sense. All right. For my e-cigarette site, it's called KLKS. That could be a site on anything. I can turn that into an e-cigarette site, even though it used to be a site on a radio station, and all the links are about radio stations and stuff. It doesn't matter. You can retheme a site. What matters is the name of the domain. Like again, the cats and dogs example, you just can't do that. But for KLKS, you can make a domain like that about anything. All right. So again, domain name is very important for money sites because you really have to consider what the domain could mean to people. And then, of course, shorter domains rank better, so if you find short domains, that's good as well, like KLKS. Alright, so let's go set our filters here. We got greater than 0. And for this example, for these filters, what I'll do is I'll set it up to look for a site with links, because looking for a site without links, you wouldn't worry about domain authority. You would probably type in words here to help filter out, like, so not going through all the sites, but you would probably look for something that's like relevant off the domain name to make it easier. But you can do it however you want. But for this example, I'm going to do an example for sites with links, because finding a site without links is common sense. You just find a domain you like that's old. That's it. Okay. So we're going to be looking at ones with links. I want it to be at least 2007 or better. So I'm going to do below 2008. Domain authority, I want it to be greater than, we'll say 20. Auction type, we did public when we did the expired domain example for blog network sites. We can do pre-release for this one. Usually I would search for both. If I'm looking for blog network sites, I'll search public, then I'll go back and I'll search pre-release. Since we did public in the blog network example, I'll do pre-release for this one. It doesn't matter, it's just different sites come up. For example, it doesn't matter, I should say. Alright, so we'll do in the next 7 days, and let's go ahead and look for that. If you really want to, you can put words in here. You want it to contain, health if you want to, but that's really going to limit the amount of sites that come back, because you can retheme sites, remember. As we see with KLKS, a site doing nearly $1,000 a day. Whoops. Did I just reset? No, I didn't. Fine. Alright. 878. Alright, so again, I'm going to organize by domain authority, because the links are a bigger factor than age. If you have powerful links going to a site, it can really give you a big boost. Okay. So let's see what we got here. A domain like Zogby, that could be about anything, so you could do that. I don't really like that domain name, though, so I'm not going to look at that one. RRFC Network. This could be you could do this about on a lot of sites. If we're doing a health site, you can make it like the RFFC Health Network. You could turn it into that'd be like the title of your site, or like the kind of like the caption of your site. RRFC Health Network, or the Cat Network. So you can do this site on anything. So this is one we could actually use for a money site. It's from 2005. It's showing maybe a PR5. Again, we don't care that much about PR, so we would just go look at the links. So let's go take a look at this. Of course, it's going to mess up for me. Oh, come on, Maz. Alright. Let's have to highlight this. There we go. Alright, so that version only has 4 links. Let's try the www version. Since it's below 2007, that's probably where the links are. And it is. Very high domain authority and page authority. A lot of linking root domains, that's good. So let's go take a look at the links here. Alright, so now the other thing, when we're looking at the links, we want all the stuff that we want for blog network sites. We want natural links. Now the RFFC network, it seems, was a site about like some parent network or something like that, special ed. It was the Western Regional Resource Center. That's like an organization. That's very good, because that tells me they probably got a lot of natural links. We love natural links. We love links that we can't get with SEO. That's what we like. The other thing I really like is they have a lot of branded anchor text. Now, this is something that people really look over when looking for expired domains for money sites, is a lot of branded anchor text. If we go look at Qzx899 you'll see a lot of branded anchor text. That's one of the reasons I really like that site. The other reason I liked it because there was a lot of natural links. It was a radio station. It was a short domain. It was an organization. So it all fit for Qzx. Even though the links weren't that strong, they were all natural, and there was a lot of branded anchor text, and it was old, and it was a short domain. Okay, so those were the key factors for me for Qzx. This site here, it's looking really good. RRC program.org. I believe the actual domain was RRFC though, wasn't it? Yeah, RRFC. So that's actually not the right domain showing, it's a redirect. We probably just can't see it because this is looking weird. Let's just say this was the right domain. A lot of strong links here, really high page authority with high domain authority. Something I really like is the branded anchor text. Again, this is what people look over, is looking at the anchor text. If there's a lot of branded anchor text, what that does is it gives you room to really stay away from over-optimization, okay? A lot less chance of getting hit with over-optimization when you start building in your links, okay? If a site has 100 links, a whole bunch of branded anchor text, when you start building your links, if you use too much exact match anchor text by accident, these links in here will offset it, okay? Because say you had a site with no links, right? If you build 10 links and you accidentally do 3 exact anchor, that could end up being over optimization. Well, in this case, if you have 100 links, most of them are branded anchor text. You accidentally build 3 exact match anchor text. That's only 3%, okay? So I love a site that has a lot of branded anchor text like this when I'm using it for a money site. It's very, very good. We got a lot of links from normal sites here, like the parent networks. You can always tell, like here's a government link here, educational resources directory, gpo.gov and other government links. You can just tell by looking at washington.edu. These are great, great links. You can just tell by looking at them. Just look at the name of the site, look at the anchor text. That's how you tell normal type links. All right, so that would actually be a good one that I would use for a money site. All right, Skype media. That's about Skype, so you can't really use that for much. Methane to markets. I don't know about that. Corp-gov. Maybe if you're doing like a site on financial stuff, you could use a site like this. As far as the domain name, of course, you would have to check the links. Swami for kids, that kind of limits you. Pork busters, that could be about anything. You could say you're busting the best electronic cigarettes. You're busting the best way to train a cat. You could make that about anything. So just be creative when you look at these domain names. All right, but again, you're considering a lot of the things you're considering for a blog network site, but you also need to consider the name of the domain and then the links. Deeper into the links, like the anchor text. Branded anchor text can really, really help. I love a money site that has a lot of branded anchor text. All right, so that's the difference there. You need to consider the domain name more. You need to consider the anchor text more. If it has a lot of branded anchor text, that's really good. Shorter domains can do really good. That's one of the reasons I picked KLKS. But other than that, again, if you're not comfortable analyzing the links, you can just go with a site with age. So there's different levels here. You can go with just age, and be super safe, or you can go with age and just a few links, just to you just want to make sure, or you just kind of want to be mostly safe, and you're pretty sure those few links are strong. Or you can go to a site that has a whole bunch of links if you're comfortable analyzing this. There's always a chance, when you have a site that has a whole bunch of links, but for the most part, if they look healthy and you know what to look for, they're natural links like parentnetwork.com, the anchor text is branded, that type of stuff are really good signs. If you know what to look for, you're going to have a very, very high percentage of success as far as sites ranking extremely well. All right. So hopefully this video was helpful. I'll talk to you soon. Hey guys, it's Greg here, and in this video I want to show you how to set up your domains once you actually are the winning bidder. So how the process works is, you use name or expireddomains.net or Register Compass, whichever one you want to use. There's also other services out there. My personal favorites, as you saw, are expireddomains.net and registercompass.com, which is the paid one. This one is free, expireddomains.net. But you bid on the domain, and whoever you use, it will go in that account. So I have a NameJet account, I have a Snap account, and I have a GoDaddy account, because those are pretty much the three I bid on. I also bid on Sedo, S-E-D-O, but not many. Mostly NameJet, Snap, and GoDaddy. Okay. So for GoDaddy, if you bid on a GoDaddy domain, it will go in your GoDaddy account. Okay. If you bid on a NameJet auction, it goes in your NameJet account. But for NameJet and Snap, there's different domain registrars. Excuse me. For example, NameJet, let's go over here and take a look. I'm going to have to blank out this left side here because it shows my domains, but when we scroll down here, we see once the domain is in the account, it tells you what registrar it's with. They automatically set up that registrar account with, they automatically set up my Enum account with my NameJet information. And they'll send you an email and let you know what your login is. If you have any problems, you can always email that service. So, this domain is with Enum, this one's with Network Solutions, this one's with Network Solutions, all these are with Enum, couple Network Solutions, there's a rare one, Fabulous Domains, Network Solutions, Enum, Network Solutions. So most of them go to, there's a couple register.coms. Most of them go to Enum, which is enumcentral.com, Network Solutions, and GoDaddy. Those are the three main ones that your domains will go to. Same thing with Snap, just it will say what service it goes with next to them. Another one that goes to every once in a while, especially with Snap, is a site called bigrock.com, another domain registrar. So when you register the domain, it goes into whatever account you bid on. So if it's a NameJet pre-releases you're bidding on, it will go into your NameJet account, and then from your NameJet account you can see what actual registrar it's with. But the point is, if you bid on NameJet domain, it will go in your NameJet account. From there, you can see what registrar it's with. They'll give you the information to sign up with them or to log in, and then you can log in and access your domain. So that's how it works. All right. It does take anywhere from like a day to I've had up to a few weeks sometimes where it takes to get into my account. Normally, I would say a few days to a week it will take to actually get into your domain account where you can start setting it up. So just be aware that, if it's not there immediately, don't freak out. It does take some time sometimes because they got to go through the process and all that. So again, whatever service you're bidding on, that's what account it will go in. So you'll need to set up a NameJet account. I recommend setting up a Snap account, and of course GoDaddy. Those are the three main ones. You can set up a Sedo account too if you want. I don't even know if I have a Sedo account. I forget how that works, but let's actually go to Google. I just want to see. I probably have a Sedo account if there is. Yeah, there is Sedo.com, so I probably have a Sedo account as well, but I don't use them often. But that's how it works, okay? So now you know how that works. Once you bid, you win. It goes into whatever bidding service you're bidding with. It goes into that account, and then you actually it's with a domain registrar, whatever domain registrar it's set up with. Once you get there, then you start setting up your domain, okay? I'm going to use GoDaddy as an example, because with each registrar it's a little different, but you're basically doing the same thing. So I'll show you the process with GoDaddy, and then I'll show you a couple of the other popular ones of what I'm talking. You'll see what I mean in just a little bit. And I'm also going to use an example account here for this site. This is a site that was like a test site kind of that I haven't touched in a while, but I'm going to use this server just because it doesn't show any really important of my domains on there. But I'll try to block out information where possible. Might have to pause a couple places, but you'll get to see the whole process of how it's set up. Alright, so let's go over to GoDaddy, and we'll go to my account. And I have to re-log in here. So I'm going to show you an example with a GoDaddy domain. Alright, so basically what I'm going to do now is I'm going to click on Launch for Domains. Let me pause. Alright, so I'm going to have to pause it because when I click on launch, it's going to show all of my domains. All I'm going to do when I go to launch is going to show a list of my domains. I'm just going to click on the domain that I want to start setting up. So that's all I'm doing in the next process. I'm just going to pause it so that you don't have to see that. So I don't have to block out a bunch of stuff. So let me just pause it really quick and I'll click launch and then click on the domain that I'm going to set up as an example. Alright guys, sorry I had to switch locations because my son was sleeping in the room next door, so that's why I see a different background. But I went and clicked on this site. This is a website that is de-indexed. I accidentally bid on it and didn't check that it was de-indexed. So I'll use this one as an example. So again, I went to the launch. My list of domains was there. I just clicked on this domain name. Alright, then it brings me to this screen here. Okay. So the first thing I want to do is I want to go to my hosting and I want to set up the domain. So I'm in my WHM for this hosting account for this server, and I'm just going to copy this domain name. Well, it's healthyhomeandlife.com. Alright, so healthyhomeandlife.com. So I'm just adding this to the WHM section. Depending which SEO hosting service you're using or what hosting in general, sometimes you'll use, and I'll cover this in another video, sometimes you'll use regular hosting, sometimes you use SEO hosting, sometimes you use dedicated IPs, just depends what you want to do. In this case I'm using SEO hosting, which is probably more than half of my domains are on as SEO hosting, but again I'll cover that in another video. This is just with SEOhosting.com. Alright. So I'm just setting up my WHM here, or I'm setting up the cPanel through my WHM. Let me actually change this. Alright, and then for the email, this is really important. You want to set up an email on the domain name, okay? You don't want to set like, my normal email on all your domains because that leaves a footprint. Google can check this email and say, if you have the same email on hundreds of domains, that's a footprint, okay, and it can definitely get you in trouble. So, sometimes I'll use like a random name like Dan at healthyhomeandlife.com. Sometimes I use help at healthyhomeandlife.com. A lot of the times I just use support because that's a common name that domains use, is support. So I'll just go with support for this one, support at healthyhomeandlife.com. And once this cPanel set up, we'll go into the cPanel and add this email account. I'll show you how to do that. So just choose a package here, and this is just going to create the WHM, or create the cPanel. Alright, so this is all set up here. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to scroll down and change site's IP address. So we want each site on a different IP address. It's this one right here, HealthyH. Scroll down to my IPs, and I'll use just a random one, doesn't matter. Change IP. It's important to note what the IP is you're changing it to. So I'm going to copy that, and I'm going to put it just in a notepad just to have on hand. Alright, so that's all changed there. Now I can log into this cPanel. So let's go to addresses.nyc.com/cPanel. I can type in HealthyH was the name of the cPanel. Yeah, HealthyH. And then the password I created. So this will log me into the cPanel for this domain. Alright. The first thing I'll do is set up that email that I connected it with. Remember that email was support@healthyhomeandlife.com. Okay. And create that email. Now we're going to go back to the cPanel and create a forwarder for that email. So let's add forwarder. And we want support@healthyhomeandlife.com to forward to your normal email address. Okay. That way, if you get any emails of that address for any reason, you'll still get the email, but it's now a unique email. That's not going to be an email that's set up on any other domain that you have in your network. So add forwarder, and now that's added. Okay. So let's go home here. The next step is to set up our private name servers. Okay, very important step here. let's go in here, and the first thing you do is you go to GoDaddy, scroll all the way down. There's something called host summary. Now this is the step where you do it's like different for different services, and I'll show you some of the more popular ones how to do it. For this one, you go to host summary though to set up private name servers. So we just go to add, and then you're just doing ns a number.healthyhomeandlife.com. So for this one, I'll use, most people use ns1.domain.com and ns2.domain.com. I like to switch it up. I'll use ns101 and ns102. I'll use ns207 and 208. I change those numbers up. So for this one, I'll just use 101, 69.93. And it doesn't let you copy the IP in here for some reason, so that's why I'm not just copying it. 137.79. I'm just going to double check to make sure that's correct. And it is, so let's hit OK. Alright, and then we also got to set up our second one. But you have to wait like a minute to set up with GoDaddy for some reason. Alright, so I just pause the video for a minute to let that one register so I can now set up my second one. So again, we'll do add. Now we can put in our second one, and I'll do ns102. Then our domain IP again, what was it, 69.93.137. Is that right? Yeah, 69.93.137.79. And then OK, and that registers the second one. Okay, so we now have that set up for in our domain account. Now we have to set up in our hosting account. So let's go over to the hosting. And to do that, you go to the Simple DNS Zone Editor. So we click on that, and we set up the same thing. Alright, so NS101, just hit tab and it will automatically put in the domain for you. And then just copy the IP in there as well. Okay, so I'll copy in that IP, click Add Record, and that registers the first private name server. And then NS102, tab, it will automatically put that in, and paste in the second one. Okay, so now we have them connected in both our cPanel and our domain account. So now we can set our name servers as those two things. Alright, so let's go over to GoDaddy. We're going to go to Name Servers, Set Name Servers, and ns101.domain.com. What was it? Healthy Home and Life. So we want ns1.domain.com or ns101.domain.com and ns102.domain.com. Oops. Let's change that to a 2. And then click OK. Now, the reason we do that is because it now has a private name server. Okay? If Google looks up our things, it's going to say healthyhomeandlife.com. ns102.healthyhomeandlife.com. So then when we do our next domain, it's going to be maybe something like ns4.domain.com and ns5.domain.com. All right. So each time you set up a new domain, it has a new name server. So they can't connect those name servers. All right. Because usually, with like SEOhosting.com, you get something like ns56.websitewelcome.com and ns57.websitewelcome.com. Alright. Now if we have that set up for this domain and this domain and that domain, we'll have 60 different domains set up on these name servers. Alright, and that's a footprint. So if you have So if you have 60 domains set up on the same name servers, that's a footprint. Whereas if you use this way of setting up private name servers, each of those 60 domains will have a different name server. It will be ns.somenumber.thedomainname.com or .net.org or .biz, whatever you have. All right. So that's the process of setting up the name server. The other thing you want to do is you want to set who is protection. All right. That's just privacy settings. This one should be already set. Or this one actually probably isn't already set because I didn't use the domain, but you would just go to your domain list and there's always an option next to there where you have an option to set a who is guard or privacy, privacy guard, privacy information all that type of stuff. So you definitely want to set that. It costs like, I would say, an average of $8 a year or so, but it's important to block your information because we don't want that to show. Because if your information showing for hundreds of different domains, again, that's a footprint. So definitely use WhoisGuard, WhoisProtection, whatever it's called in the domain service you're using. I'm not going to show how to do that because I think most of you know how to do that. But it's just the privacy option where you can guard your information. So instead of it showing like all your information, it will say who is protected, and it won't show anything. All right, and again, that's so we don't leave a footprint. So definitely set your privacy information. It's actually up here for GoDaddy. I think it's privacy. It looks like it is on. Yeah, so it's already set for this one, I guess. I don't know if it came with it automatically or what. Sometimes I guess it will. I'm not sure. But just make sure that your privacy is set, that you bought a WhoisGuard or a privacy protection, whatever they call it in the domain service. GoDaddy calls it privacy protection or something like that, and then Namecheap calls it WhoisGuard. So different places call it different things, but make sure that's set as well. Okay, and you can look that up by going to if we go to Whois. I'll always use Network Solutions for this. And then if you type in like, let's just type in, like I might not have it set for this one here, one of my example sites for the course. Alright, yeah, so this doesn't, or does this have it set? Alright, yeah, so this does have WhoisGuard set. See, it says WhoisGuard protected. It doesn't show any of my information, just shows WhoisGuard, okay? So it doesn't show anything. Whereas if you don't use WhoisGuard and privacy information, your information will show up here, okay? So that's a way to check to make sure that your privacy is being protected and you have that set. Sometimes when you buy it, it'll take a couple hours to kick in, so you can check a couple hours later if you want. But that's just for those of you who aren't sure what WhoisGuard is and privacy protection is. If you know what it is, you don't got to check it. I never check it myself. If I buy it and get it, I know that it's going to kick in. Alright, so really quick, the steps here. Wait for the domain to go, once you bid and win, wait for the domain to go into the domain registrar it's with. Log into that domain registrar so you can access that domain. Set up your domain on your hosting. Set up domain on host, I'm sorry, I already said that. Add an email to the domain. Set a unique IP. If you're using SEO hosting or a dedicated IP, that is. If you're using regular hosting, you just set up one domain per regular hosting account. And this is what I'm going to talk about in another video. Different people have different views on this, of how to properly set up this part, and I'll talk about that in another video. But if you're just using regular hosting, you just set up one domain per regular hosting account, and you don't have to worry about setting an IP for that because you just get an IP that hosting account's with. There's no changing the IP there. All right. Step 6 is set your Whois or privacy protection information. Step 7, just set up your private name servers in both your domain account and cPanel. So remember, I set them in GoDaddy with the hosting, and I set them in my cPanel with the what's it called, the Simple DNS Zone Editor. Okay. And then just set your name servers to those private name servers you set up. So go back to your domain account, go to set name servers, and set those name servers. Okay. Sometimes it takes, domain propagation takes a few hours. Sometimes even like a day. It looks like this is already set up. So when we go to the site healthyhomeandlife.com, it shows this instead of a park domain. So we can actually install WordPress now. So I'm going to go to Home, and again, for this step, different cPanels have different ways of installing WordPress. For example, one of the companies I use, they don't have Fantastico Deluxe. They have something called Simple Scripts, and another company doesn't have either of them. You have to use something else for that. But for this one, we just use Fantastico Deluxe, just like we normally would. WordPress. New installation. Alright, so I'm doing for Healthy Home and Life. I'm just going to do admin, test 1, 2, 3. Make sure you set the email to the email that you set up, which is support@healthyhomeandlife.com. healthy home and life.com, and making sure you stay healthy. Just whatever for there. Just setting up as a health site, I'll be linking out to health domains. Or if I was going to use this site, I'll be linking out to health domains. So install WordPress. Finish. And there we go. The site's now set up. It should be propagated. We'll see. Okay, it is. Alright, so I'll just log in and then set it up. I'm going to save this for another video where I'll log in. I'll show you how I set up, what plugins I use, because I don't use the same plugins as I do for a normal site. There's one additional one I use that helps keep link juice. Like if you have a link to domain.com/page 3, since it's an expired domain, someone else had that page 3 and you no longer have that content, it redirects that link to your home page, so it helps you keep the link juice from the pages that no longer exist. So that's one of the plugins I use. Then I use XML sitemaps and Axmet to block comment spam. That's it for me. That's all I use. But again, I'm going to show you that in a different video. I'll actually log in. I'll set up WordPress, and then I'll do an example post for how I would actually make a post and link out. All right. There is also software where people, for example, there's something called Content Amigo. Todd Spears, again, the guy who invented SEO hosting, he's a bunch of software for this. I personally like using totally unique content and just doing it myself. I have software for it that helps speed it up, but I like posting all unique content just to be safe. He says it works for him, so if you want to look into that, I'll mention that in that video. But so different people use different plugins in different ways. I just personally like to post unique content, or I'll do like a unique content, I'll have it spun, then I'll post it to like 5 to 10 sites. I won't post that spun article to too many sites to reduce footprints. All right, but again, I'm going to cover that in a different video. So now what I want to do is go to remember in this we set up the private name service by going to the host summary. Well, different places have different ways of doing it. So let's go to Enum Central. The way you do it in here is you go to Domains, then you go down to Advanced Tools, and you go to Register Name Server. Okay, so I would put in, ns dot whatever. I guess I use 101.healthyhomeandtips and tips.com. Then I would put in the IP address, which was up here, this right here. So I'd copy that, and I would put that in, and I would go to Register Name Server. Okay, and then I would go back again and do it the second time. I'd go back, Register, Advanced Tools, Register. I would have hit Register. I'm not doing it because this isn't with this service. Now I'll do the second one. I'll do ns.102.domain.com, type in my IP, Register Name Server, and then I'll go back to my cPanel and do the things in with a simple DNS zone editor. Do the same thing that you saw me do before. I'd put in NS101 tab, put in the IP, add record. All right, but as you can see, with GoDaddy, you go down to the host summary to do it. With Enum, you go to Domains, Advanced Tools, Register, Name Server, and then with so with different domains, there's different ways of doing it. You just got to kind of look into it. If you have any problems, just contact support and ask them, how do I set up private name servers with your service? Okay. But most of them are pretty easy. There is a couple of them, like the weird, like places like, I think the one was like futuredomains.com. I've used that once. I know it's kind of tough to figure out how to set up the private name servers, but you just got to contact support and ask them how to do it. But the point is, different places have different ways of doing it. Again, GoDaddy is with the host summary. Enum is with the by going to domains, and then Advanced Tools, Register, Domain Server. Okay. So there's different ways of doing that. Just be aware of that. And the same thing, with different hosting companies, there's different ways to set up WordPress. Some hosting companies don't have WHM. All you gotta do is do an add-on domain, and you don't have to mess with WHM. You just add on the domain, pick an IP, and go from there. So some don't have the WHM. So it's the same process overall, but you just might have to do it a little differently with different services. Okay, but that's how you do it. Just remember these steps here. I'll probably post this so you can check those out and make sure you're doing that right. But it's very important that you do your whois information, your private email, and private name servers, because that helps not leave footprints. All right, guys. Because if you have the same email across all 100 of your domains on your blog network, and all of those domains are linking to your money sites, you're getting links from tons of different domains and tons of different IPs, but all those sites have the same email. And same thing with the name servers. You might be getting links from all different domains and all different IPs, but all those domains have the same name server, so it looks fishy. Okay, so it's important that each domain has a unique name server, ns.anumber.domain.com, a unique email, support@domain.com, help@domain.com, greg@domain.com, however you want to do that. And those are definitely very important things to do. Okay, so I'll probably make that the end of this video. In the next video, I will show you. I'll actually go into WordPress. I'll install the plugins, show you how I set up everything, and then I'll also talk about hosting companies that I use and the difference between using SEO hosting and regular hosting and dedicated IPs. I'll tell you who I use for all those, and I'll kind of go into the philosophy of what Todd Spears says, who invented SEO hosting, what Dory Friend says, who set up a lot of the public blog networks, because they believe different things, and I like to use a mix of everything. But again, I'll cover that in the next video. But from this video, you see how to safely set up the domain to get to the WordPress stage. Next video, I'll cover the WordPress stage, and then we'll also talk more about hosting. Okay? Hope you guys enjoyed. Talk to you soon. Hey everyone, it's Greg here. In this video, I want to do some updated blog network stuff to help us with security stuff even more, to help blend in even more, to help protect our networks even more. The first thing I want to cover is SOA records, SOA email records. Most hosting companies you use will have a WHM. This one right here, this is SEOhosting.com. They do have a WHM. Some of the hosting companies you use will not have a WHM though, and with those you're going to have to contact them to edit the SOA records. For example, I have a couple hosting companies with a friend of mine, Todd Spears, and he does not use WHM, so he created a Perl script that goes in and edits the SOA records for me. So if you don't have a WHM with one of your hosts you're using for your blog networks, contact them, and if you want to change the SOA records after seeing what it's about, and let them know that you want to see how you can change the SOA records for the domains you have on their hosting. So with that said, let's scroll down. I'm going to show you what an SOA record is and how to change it, and why I'm bringing this up. Why it's worth changing. So it's under DNS functions, then you go to Edit DNS Zone, and if I click on the first domain in my account here and go to Edit, you'll notice right here it says SOA right here, and then it has the server it's on, and then it has the actual email, the SOA record email. Now what this means is it's the SOA records email is Greg at omgmachines.com. They use periods instead of the at. So when you change it, you want to use periods. All right. So if I wanted to change this to like Greg at gmail.com, that's how you would do it. So you use a period here instead of the at sign. If you try to use an at, it will give you an error. Alright, let me change this back. So this is the email listed in my SOA records, and if you have the same email for all your SOA records for all your sites, then Google can find that out through DNS related stuff. They can kind of tie it together. Now, chances are low, but if they catch something and then they check your DNS and they find the email and all your domains have the same email, they can tie that together pretty easily. So this is why we want to consider changing this. Because if I go back to Edit DNS Zone and I click on a different domain, one of the ones down here, and click on Edit, what's the email? Greg at omgmachines.com, same thing. So because what they do when you, most companies at least, what they do when you create your hosting account is they put the same SOA record in for all of your websites in that account. They put the email that you signed up to the hosting account with. So, in this account I signed up with Greg at omgmachines.com, so they automatically put that in for all my SOA records for all my sites. Okay? So just be aware of that. This was brought to me by my friend Adam Black, who's awesome with this stuff. We were just talking about network stuff. He asked me, excuse me, if I've been changing my SOA records. He says it's something he just started doing. He recommends that I do it. And he's been doing this a while. He's a really technical guy, so I trust him. And it makes sense because even if you know about DNS stuff, you can find out other sites through the email like that connected to this account. So just be aware of that, and I do recommend changing. It takes 2 seconds. You go to edit DNS, click on the account, edit, type in the new email you want to do. Usually what I do is I'll do like, admin.sitename.com. Alright, so, or support.sitename.com or greg.sitename.com. And of course this will be replaced with the actual site name. So if I wanted this for, wedding photographers, or Reno wedding photographers, then it would just connect. This would be admin@renoweddingphotographers.com, and I would use that for the website renoweddingphotographers.com. Okay, so that's what I've been doing. I've been coming in and changing it to like admin or support or webmaster or something like that, .sitename.com, net, or whatever it is. That way, each of your domains on your hosting account have a different SOA record, and they can't tie it all together by the SOA records. All right. So that's the first thing I wanted to talk about. Next thing is additional security stuff that we may want to consider. Stuff that I'm not personally doing myself yet, but I'm strongly considering it. It may take me a few months to make the changes, and I think we're pretty safe without doing it, at least for now, but it's something we definitely want to consider for the future. The first thing is having all the same plugins on our sites. Right now, all my domains, or most of my domains, have the same plugins. I use Link Juice Keeper, Google XML Sitemaps, Axomet, what else? Spider Spanker, and then maybe like one more. And all my sites have those same plugins. Well, if they ever found some kind of footprint, and then they were able to compare my sites, and alright, all these sites have the same plugins. That's a footprint. All the sites have the same plugins. So it's a little weird, my site has links from 100 domains, and for some reason they check it out, and 50 of the sites on my blog network, all 50 of those sites have the same plugin. That's a pretty obvious footprint. Now, the chances of them going to that step are slim, but keeping the protection of our network as good protection as we can in mind, that may be something we want to change. So, maybe you want to go in and add a few different plugins for each site. For maybe site A, I'll have plugins 1 through 4, and then 3 more random plugins. Then site 2, I'll have plugins 1 through 4, then 4 more random plugins. Different than site A. And then some people say you shouldn't even have the same plugin on all your the same sites. But sometimes, like with a plugin like Spider Spanker, I think it's more beneficial to have it than to have it on all your sites and leave a little footprint and not have it, because the footprint you leave from not using it would be bigger. If your sites are showing in things like AHRES and all that, then it's easier for people to find them, and I think it's a better chance to have it on all your sites than not. So you got to kind of mix that in. Maybe you can use Spider Spanker on some of your sites, then use the HT access trick on some of your sites to kind of mix it up. But those are all things to consider. I don't even know what I'm going to do yet with that. I'm not too worried about it yet. But again, I just want to bring up things that you want to consider with your network. The next thing I'm considering is the look of my sites. Right now, you can pretty much tell when you go to a blog network site that it's a blog network site if you're someone who's done it. So I'm working on maybe hiring a designer, someone in the Philippines or something, for like $300 a month to just go over all my sites and just change them up. For example, go look at archives.org, maybe pull, if they had like some kind of header, pull the header, just upload the header to the site, maybe add like a calendar in there, maybe add like social stuff in there to make it look normal. So I may hire a designer, like $300, $400 a month for a full-time person you can get, and just have them go over my sites and just kind of make them look a little better. Alright, so that's another step I'm thinking of taking. That's probably the first step I'll take, is the design of the sites, try to mix it up a little bit. Next thing is changing platforms. So right now all of our sites are on WordPress, as are pretty much everyone else that builds a blog network. Almost everyone builds all their sites on WordPress. And it's not like that big of a deal because most people now use WordPress. But to be a little safer, it probably would be a good idea to have every, every maybe fourth or fifth site be on a different platform, or even every 10th site. Just even if it's like a little different, it'll help. I'm talking about B2E Evolution, a normal HTML site, Joomla. Just different platforms instead of WordPress. Again, right now all my sites are on WordPress. Am I worried about it? No, because so many people have WordPress sites, but in the future, it may want to be something that we consider. That's something I'll probably consider a few months down the road. But I just wanted to bring those things up, because it's your network, and I want you to be aware of everything. And it's up to you to what steps you want to take and how far you want to take it. Right now, all the things I just mentioned, besides the SOA records, I'm not even doing myself. I'll probably slowly work into implementing, the stuff I mentioned, the changing the site up, making it look a little better, maybe using like Catalyst on some sites, on like 10% of my sites to really make them look good. Then for another 10%, have them be regular free themes, but just like GIFed up. Go to archive and pull some header graphics or some icons, or and just place them throughout the site to make them look a lot more real. Calendars and social signals, and there's other plugins that you can use to make the site look real and kind of help it blend in more. So that's probably the first thing I'll do. Maybe switch up the plugins. Add different plugins to different sites. That may be something I do in the next couple months. But as I do these things, I'll keep you updated. But I just want to bring them up as soon as possible because, again, it's your network. It's your responsibility to protect it as much as you want. I just want you to be aware of everything that I'm going to be doing or I'm thinking about doing, so you can do them yourself if you would like to, and you can kind of use your own judgment to make decisions on what you want to do. Can you get by on a network without doing all the things I just mentioned? Most likely, yes. Chances are you won't get caught anytime soon in the next year or two if you don't do those things, but you never know. They could make a change. They could really put some focus on blog networks. You never know. So it just depends how safe you want to be and how far you want to take it. Alright, so hopefully this video helps you. I do recommend doing the SOA records though, because it's very easy. It takes 2 seconds, and it is, something they could do pretty easily. If you don't change them, will it affect you? Probably not. Definitely not anytime soon, most likely. But, why not take the extra 2 seconds per site to make the change? Alright, hope you guys enjoyed. Talk to you soon. Hey everyone, it's Greg here. In this video I'm going to show you how to use a plugin called Spider Spanker. It's made by a good friend of mine, Todd Spears, and what it helps do is it helps block the link aggregators. A link aggregator is somewhere like Ahrefs or Majestic SEO or OpenSite Explorer, the places that show what links are going to a website. Okay, so when you're analyzing competition, you may go check out that website in Ahrefs to see, where are they getting their links, how are they doing their anchor text, and all that stuff. Well, what Spider Spanker does, one of the things that it does is it helps to block those major bots, okay, those major link aggregators, so our links won't show up when people do link reports on it. So, I have sites ranking #1 that when you go and put them in these tools, they'll show no links, because I'm blocking them. I'm blocking them from those stats. So people will be like, well, how's this guy ranking with no links? Well, I really have links, but they're just not being shown. So the first reason to block is to keep your competition from knowing how you're doing SEO. They can't copy what you're doing. The second reason is so that you hide your network. Okay, if you're in a market and someone analyzes your site and they find out you have a whole bunch of blog network sites, they can gather them up, report them to Google, and then you're a good chance you're going to be your network's going to be taken out. So if you block these major link aggregators, a lot less chance of that happening. Now there's a low chance of that happening even when you don't block, because most people won't go to that extreme. But when you do block, it's just another safety measure. No one can see what you're doing. Even for the sake of not being safe, I just like blocking just so people don't know what I'm doing. They don't know how I'm doing SEO, and it's awesome. And people used to block these link aggregators through htaccess and robots files, through special code in there. But that's not working anymore, or it's not working as well. Spider Spanker pretty much blocks 100% for these major aggregators. People can still find your links if they really know what they're doing, but for the most part, 99% of people will not be able to find your links. Okay, so how you do this? You go to plugins. First of all, you got to get Spider Spanker. Okay, it's Todd's plugin. I believe it's like $37 for the regular version. And there's like an upsell that has different features. When I did the upsell, it's up to you if you do it or not. You go to plugins. You go to add new, and then you would upload it. Okay, because it's a file. You got to buy it. Again, it's like $37 for the regular version. And then what you want to do is you want to go to browse and you want to pick the Spider Spanker Pro RAR file or zip file, whatever you have it as, and then install now. Okay, I'm going to go pick that file, and I will be right back. Okay, so here I am. Here's the Spider Spanker Pro folder. Here's my file that I got when I bought it. Double click it, install it. Activate. Alright, so now it's all activated. Now you see it down here, SS Pro. So now we're going to click on that. Now I already installed this on this domain as an example earlier. Usually what comes up is you got to put in your key, your license key. You'll get that when you buy it. Put in your license key, click register, and then this is the screen you get. Okay, you didn't see that step because I already registered it for this site, but you will get a license key. All you got to do is put it in that screen, hit register, and this is the screen you then see. Alright, from here, you want to copy these 6 bot names, and I'll give those to you. You want to go down here, you want to go to cut paste, and you can see they're already in here because I already did this example. Then you would paste them in and hit update, and then go down and hit save settings. And then you're good to go, okay? And you would install this on each blog network site that you don't want showing link, which is all of them for me. I install this on all of my network sites. You can even install this on money sites if you want, because it helps do things like block hackers. It helps keep bad bots off your site, which can conserve your servers. So you can install this on all your sites, but for the purpose of a network, you want to install it on your actual network sites. That's how you block the link aggregators, by installing on your network sites. Some people get confused, or they don't remember, do I install it on my money site? Do I install it on my network sites? You install it on your network sites to block, because that network site, you're saying, what Spider Spanker is saying is I'm blocking the link aggregators from showing where I'm linking out to. Okay, that way it won't show up when people analyze your money site. So to block the link aggregators, if you install it on the blog network sites, but Todd recommends installing this on all your sites. It can help with your server. You can help with hackers and stuff like that. So it's a great plugin and just awesome for blocking link aggregators. I use it on all my sites. It does a very, very good job. Nothing out there like it right now. So hopefully you enjoyed this video. I really recommend using this plugin, getting it, and using it to help protect yourself and just help protect what you're doing with SEO. Talk to you soon.
Hello, this is Todd Spears, and I wanted to make a quick video on how to sign up at BizBuilder Hosting. As some of you may or may not know, I invented SEO hosting back in 2004, and so that's why you're seeing me here today, and I want to help you get started. So it's real simple. Once you reach this home page at bizbuilderhosting.com, right here it says click here for the project, OMG Project X packages. Now you click the number of IPs you want. Most of you will start with 10. If you've already got a bunch of domains, you can start with 20. If you start with 10, you can upgrade seamlessly. It will prorate. It'll be automatic. Everything will be fine. Anytime you want to upgrade to a bigger package, don't worry about it. It's simple. So what you want to do is click I own my own domain, and you want to put in some PBN domain. Do not put .com in there, okay? Make sure you just leave it .com over here or .org, whatever you want. Okay, so some PBN domain, and make sure you click on I own my own domain. Do not transfer any domains to me. Do not register any new domains. Use one you already own that's a PBN. You continue, and you'll see it confirms the domain you want. Make sure it's not doubled right here. Continue, and then you want to proceed to checkout. Okay, and basically after that, it's pretty simple. You just click I agree to terms of service, click pay with whatever you want to pay with, and click submit, and you're done. That will indeed get you set up in the system, and it will automatically run, and you will be sent an email with your activation details within 5 to 6 minutes, provided the information isn't messed up. Another thing you want to notice is the help desk. Okay, so it's right here in help and info. You could go to the help desk. So right here is where you have the ability to put in a ticket if you want to. If you want to buy some domains, you can here. You can look at your packages and you can say view hosting accounts. And this is also a good place to go if you want to say you want to upgrade. Now then you just simply click, select the one you want to upgrade to. But these plans are in that same group. Right here, SEO AMS10, I'm already upgraded. Same stuff here. So this is how if you want to analyze this in further detail, you click the magnifying glass, and you can resend your activation email or reset cPanel password. You can click to log in. You really don't probably want to use this information because you want to use private domain servers. And really that's it. Of course there's view pay invoices and some simple things like that. But so help desk, and then you can view your hosting accounts right here. This views more about the actual domain and plan, and this is the upgrade package. Okay, that's it for this video, and I'll make some more in the next series on how to set up your WordPress. Hello, Todd again. Now in this short video I wanted to show you how to add a domain as an add-on domain and select its IP. So after you sign up and you receive your email and have set some your DNS, or you've logged into your cPanel, you simply want to use, and by the way, my SEO hosting is much simpler than anybody else's. Just don't get confused by that. Now, I simply manage everything with add-on domains, and I'll show you in just a second. So I'm going to go ahead and add the domain Dragonfire, and I'm going to leave the username exactly what it is, and I'm going to put in some password. Okay, and that's very weak, I know, but it doesn't matter. I'm going to delete them in a minute. I did a bad one. Okay, now I just want to add that domain, and off it goes. Okay, you can see it's finished and everything looks good. One thing I want you to note, that if your domain is super duper long, it's going to say this is not valid. So you want to put something really short and sweet, okay? Because you can only put so many characters as your subdomain FTP username, but you want to make sure it's something that you can remember here, okay? But don't get confused if that thing says, it's just because your domain's too long. So you just want to make sure you have a decent domain here, okay? Now this is always going to stay the same. This is always going to be your domain name, password. Okay, so this FTP username is not even that big of a deal, really. Okay, so after you've done that, you want to click down here to the SEO IP manager, okay? Click on the SEO IP manager and you'll see here's the root domain. Never change that. That one stays the way it is. Dragonfire, I want to change it, and I can select any of these class C's, okay? So 216.110.4, if I select that, these are going to open up. You see the star by it? That means it's already in use, so I definitely don't want to use anything in that category. So let me choose another one. Also, let me just quickly say that all these 38s is network number 1, and everything else, 209s, 216s, 207s, there's some 66s, you don't see them here, but I do have them. 38 is one network under one company name. 216, anything else is one network under a different name. So you get a very wide variety of Class A's. This one doesn't show all my subs, but there's a lot of them there. So let's just pick that one. You can pick any one of these you want. Just make sure you don't see a star. If you see a star, then it's already in use. Don't use it again. Okay, so let's go ahead and hit that change button there, and it'll go in and do the change. Okay, it's all done, and disregard this information right here. I gotta fix that, but it's changed it. And now we can see that it's changed it right there. So while I've got you here, I'm going to go ahead and show you how to set up this as a private name server in Enom, because that's where this is registered. Okay, so this is Enom, and I'm a little bit out of focus here, so I'm going to try and work with it as best I can. So What we want to do is go to Advanced Tools. If you log into your Enom account, you go to Domain, you go to Advanced Tools, you go Register and Name Server. Anytime you want to make private name servers, you've got to register it first. So I'm going to say ns1 dot Dragonfire, right? So Dragonfire. I just want to copy that and do that, and then the IP is the one I selected, which is this 38 right here. Copy that, and I'm going to set it here. Okay, so now I am registering this name server, so now I can use it. Now I just want to hit the back arrow. Now this is all registrars are different, but this is just how Enom does it. Enom Central. So boom. So now I'm registered. Did you see I just changed it to NS2? So now I'm changing that. So let me go to my domains again. Okay. Let me, find Dragonfire. And let me go ahead and change these to ns1.dragonfire.com. Let me go ahead and just copy that in. Okay, right here. Boom. And ns2. Boom. And save. And I'm done. That will create private name servers for that domain. All done. There you go. Thank you. Gotta go. Hi again, this is Todd Spears. I wanted to bring you another video about how to set up private DNS in GoDaddy. It's one of the biggest questions I get. Most domains come from GoDaddy, but I'm going to try and jam through this in about 4 minutes. Okay, so the first thing I want to do is I want to go to, I don't know, let's see, all products here. No, I mean domains. And I'm going to go to manage my domains. Okay, so it'll load up here in just a second. Now, you know, I bought this cool local340.com domain, 17 years old, and I haven't done anything with it yet, so I'm going to go ahead and add this to my account real quick. Add on domain, just jam through this real quick. It was local340.com. Okay, I'm going to add. Okay, good. I'm going to go to home. Okay. Now I want to go to SEO IP Manager, and I want to set local 340 to a different subnet, and I want to choose that one, change, and I know it's going to set that to there, so Control C. Now I'm going to go in here and manage my hosts. I want to go to local340.com. I want to click on it, then I'm going to come down here to host names. They call them host names for name servers. I click on manage, and I want to add one new, and I'm going to call this NS1, and I'm going to do that IP, and I'm going to hit add. Okay, I'm going to add another one, call this NS2, I'm going to say the same IP, I'm going to hit add. Okay, now both of those are working. Save. Those names are saving. I'm going to pause this. It takes just about 60 seconds. Okay, now I just waited about 60 seconds because it takes about that long for the ones I just created to go into effect. Okay, so click on custom name servers here, and then I want to enter my custom name servers, and what were they? ns1.local340.com, in ns2.local340.com. Right, oh, let me get it dotted there. Okay, NS1 local 340, NS2 local 340, and hit OK. All day. Okay, it's not, this NS2 hasn't picked up yet, so I'm going to wait another 60 seconds, and I'll try it again. You know what? Let me go ahead and cancel this. Now let me go back and cancel this, and let me go back and look at these host names again. Okay, so it has one for some reason GoDaddy is not perfect. So let me try it again. So there's a second one, and I remember having this problem the other day. So okay, now it's in there, I guess. So now I'm going to hit save. Now I'm going to go back to manage. Okay, name servers are updating, so I can't do them yet. Go ahead and manage. Okay, now I'm here. Let me go into custom, add name servers, and let me do ns1.local340.com, and also, so let me do ns2. So guys, sometimes computers are and other people's websites are just they don't want to cooperate all the time. See, I just hit OK twice, and the second time it worked. Okay, I can't tell you why. We can talk to GoDaddy about that, but that kind of stuff goes on constantly, 24/7 with computers and the internet. Nothing's perfect. There's no computers that are perfect. There's no software that's perfect. There are no perfect people. Sometimes you got to roll with the punches. If it all, try again, reboot, things like that. So anyway, that's done. I just showed you how to do everything you needed to do within 4 minutes on going to GoDaddy, putting in a domain, doing all the stuff I just did. Now the last thing I got to do is install WordPress, which will take me another 1 minute, but I'm at my time limit here, and I'm at the 4-minute mark. So that's it. Eventually this will change to my correct name servers, and I'm done. I'm really done right now, and I can go start installing WordPress. All right. Have a good day. Talk to you later. Bye. Hey everybody, Todd Spears. I want to go over Namecheap registration and setup. So I'm buying this new domain, Interwebs Media. So I'm gonna, with Namecheap, you get free Whois for 1 year. So that's cool, free firm order. Okay. And now. Okay, that's all done. Manage my account. Now what I want to do here is view them, and I just selected this one right here, interwebsmedia.com. So here it is right here. Okay. Now what I want to do is I'm going to go over to my cPanel and add a domain. Okay, so after I add a domain, I go and select its IP, Interwebs Media. I know I don't want to use the same one, so let me just choose something like that and hit change. Okay, so now I select that IP, and let me go back to Namecheap. Okay, what I want to do here is name server registration, NS1, IP, add name servers. Okay, the following name servers were added successfully. Okay, good. So let me just copy that again. There, and go back to domain name server setup, and I'm still on the same domain. Now I want to specify custom. Make sure that one is 2. Save changes, and I'm done. I have just created private name servers. I have just bought a domain, added a domain, set its IP, and set private name server all in 2 minutes and 29 seconds. So that's it. Now the last thing you want to do obviously is go install. See, it says it's done. So see, it's done right there. And so now I just need to go and install WordPress. And as we know, that's right here. And I want to go over this one more time because this is so important. I have so many people do this. Delete WP. Okay? Please delete WP. Disregard the subdomain. I want to install right there. I want to add some crazy letters here and fill in the blanks. Okay? Please, please, please read this. Okay? And remove the dirt. Alright guys, that's Namecheap. Take it easy. Hey, Todd Spears again. I wanted to go over a quick video here on how to install WordPress. So after we've added the domain, we've set its IP, and we've set its name servers, we want to go in here and install WordPress. And I use the Softaculous script installer. Well, I don't, but you can. It's a great installer. It's better than Fantastico. So we just click on that, and then we click on install. Now it lists all of our domains right here. So we don't want to worry about these subdomain looking domains. This is just a cPanel thing. Okay, just ignore this right here with the root in it. Okay, this is your root domain, Gold Investor Guide for this account. So you'll see all of these other ones, but just ignore them. Okay, it's real simple. So we pick the first one, and make sure you delete that. Okay, make sure you delete that. Okay, another thing that I want to do here is go ahead and, for this prefix, for more security, I wouldn't use SDFF, but I would use just some random numbers, random characters. And then change your site name, change that if you want. Do not install that. I usually change this to something like my initials. Like I would do TS, and then I would do a pretty strong pass, like 876 KIRDY, bang bang, okay, or pound pound. That's pretty strong. And then when you want to set your email address to whatever you want to do. Okay, I'm going to use admin at BizBuilder Hosting, and also want to go ahead and install that limit login tips. Just doesn't matter. And then you can go ahead and install. You can say you want your email there, and it'll email you the details. I don't care. So I just hit install. Give it a couple of seconds here, and it's done. Okay, so let's just go ahead and just see if this is propagated yet. And I don't. Yep, there it is. It's all done. It's installed. You know, so we go in and log in. Oops, sorry, I spelled that wrong. WP admin. Okay, take it from there. So that's the simple way to install. The only thing, again, the biggest thing I want to remind you of is, again, you see this doesn't say WP on it, okay? When we go to install, now we'll install the one for Magnifier. Oh, and you can, I wouldn't do that. Make sure you delete that, okay? That's the biggest problem I see. People's like, well, where's it at? Okay, delete that. In directory. This is the directory, blah, 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 blah. Okay, now I don't know why they put that in there by default, but they do. Make it blank, okay? You must install WordPress in the root directory, okay? You can change that too if you want to. Doesn't matter. Change your prefix. That's it. Okay, you've installed WordPress. That's all you have to do. Thanks. Bye.
Alright guys, in this video I want to talk about hosting for your sites. As I mentioned, I've been in contact with Dory Friend, who did a lot of the public blog networks for the last few years, but some of them got the index and stuff. Again, I've been in contact with Todd Spears, who's the guy who invented SEO hosting, and Todd's take is that using SEO hosting is fine. Dory's take is you shouldn't use SEO hosting. Look, the way I look at it is, Todd's successfully using SEO hosting. Dory's successfully not using SEO hosting. I like using a mix of everything, okay? I mean, when you think about it, just because you have SEO hosting, which is, unique IPs for each site, just because, even if Google can identify, which they can, I think, identify, that a certain IP is an SEO hosting IP, doesn't mean they can penalize that site. I believe that's against the law, and they just can't do that. They can't do it. It's not logical. So, I personally just like to use a mix of everything, okay? Some of my favorite SEO hosting companies are SEOhosting.com, and this is for blog network sites. For my money sites, I like SEOhosting.com for money sites. And then for the rest of these, it's up to you if you want to do that. But this is for blog network sites. SEOhosting.com, they're expensive but great support. HostSEO.org, SEOWebHosting.net, BizBuilderHosting.com. This is Todd Spears' company. And the cool thing about Todd Spears' company is he's like a small hosting company. So his IPs aren't as much on the radar. So that's a good thing about his. But since it's a small company, the support's not as good. It's decent. Like, it just sometimes they take a little bit to get back to you and stuff. So, and then there's Bluehost, who I use. If you get a reseller account, you can get dedicated IPs. And a dedicated IP is, you get a different IP each time, and that IP is only assigned to you. Okay. So I use a mix of unique IPs, dedicated IPs, then I also use shared hosting, so just regular hosting accounts. You go get a baby HostGator account. What Dory Friend does is she gets a bunch of these mom and pop, so to speak, hosting company accounts. She'll just get one account for one domain, and that's it. Okay, and it's just it's like a shared IP, so that kind of looks natural as well. You have all these sites on shared IPs, like across like a normal hosting account, and that looks very normal because a bunch of people are using that IP. I mean, a bunch of people are. There's also people using the SEO hosting IPs. It's just people get worried because they're identified as SEO hosting IPs. So, it's just that more people use the shared hosting for regular hosting, I believe. I'm not very technical, but I think that's almost a good thing that I'm not as technical because I can step back and look at it from a different point of view. I think a lot of these people who are really technical and really understand the stuff might look into it too much sometimes. So what I like to do, I just like to use a mix of everything. I probably use mostly SEO hosting just because it's simple. I use some dedicated IPs from Bluehost.com using a reseller account. And then I'll also use some shared hosting where you go to HostGator, buy a baby hosting account, and just host one site on there. Or if you want, you can host a few sites if they're in different niches. But that's a little risky. Some people, I mean, I shouldn't say a little risky, but there is risk involved with it. Some people believe it's okay to have a few different sites for each IP. Again, I like to be safe and have each site on a different IP, especially for my blog network sites, okay? But I just want to kind of talk about, what different people think. Like, Dory says that, you can't use SEO hosting safely, but you can because I've been doing it for a while now, and, Todd's been doing it for 10 years safely, and he's never had a problem, he said. He's also using a network that isn't as on the radar, but still, there's a lot of rumors going on too, in like Black Hat forums especially, that you're stupid if you use SEO hosting for your blog networks. But I'm doing it fine. I mean, Todd's doing it fine. And then of course Dory says that shared hosting is the way to go. The thing about shared hosting, which again is normal hosting accounts, like normal mom and pop hosting accounts, or if you go to HostGator and get like a baby account, just like a normal hosting account. The thing about those is it's a pain in the ass to organize and set up. If you get hundreds of different domains and each of those are on a different hosting account, that is a pain, okay? And that's why Todd Spears invented SEO hosting, so you can add a bunch of sites to the same hosting account but get a different IP for each, alright? So that's the thing with hosting. Again, I'm not very technical, but what makes sense to me is just mixing it up. Just like I know you guys heard me say that probably a million times in this course, but it's true because that's what's natural. Just mix it up. It's always worked for me. Just blend in, look natural. Have some SEO hosting sites, have some dedicated IPs. Have some shared hosting accounts, but I mostly go with dedicated IPs and SEO hosting IPs just because shared hosting is a pain. It's a pain in the butt. Dory Friend has a service where she'll build blog networking sites for you, and she does them all in shared hosting accounts. And there's like a service she uses where they're all set up. It's like kind of managed easier somehow. I don't know how she does it, but I order from sites from her, and those are my sites that are on shared IPs. The thing with her sites is she just goes off age and relevancy. She doesn't really go after the links because she's trying to provide a low-dollar service for people. Normally she admits that the links, adding the links in as well is much more powerful. But again, she's trying to provide that service that's affordable where people can get a lot out of it still. Even though it's not as powerful with the links. So she just goes after age and relevancy. If you're interested in looking into her service, but I just kind of want to give a background about what people are saying about. As far as using hosting and unique IPs, dedicated IPs, shared hosting, because there's a lot of controversy around what works and what doesn't. But I think it doesn't really depend on one thing. It's everything. I showed you guys how to safely set them up. It depends on that. It depends how you add your content. It depends how well you're mixing up your IPs and different IPs. And I don't like all my IPs with one hosting account. Like I like some with SEO hosting. I like some with Host SEO. I like some with this account. I like some with them. I like some with Bluehost. And there's even other companies that I'm going to continue to go with. Okay, this is the list I'm using right now, though. Alright, I actually just got a dedicated server from Todd Spears with 100 IPs on it, and Dory told me that's no good, but Todd's like, no, because I've been doing that for years, because he has it set up a different way supposedly. So they're both experts in the field, probably two of the best. They've both been doing it for 5+ years, and they both say different things. That's just difference of opinions there. different things work for different people. So just be careful about what you hear. If you really look into this stuff, you'll probably see people in the Black Hat forum saying, using SEO hostings for beginners and blah blah blah. But a lot of those people just talk and they've never even done it themselves. Like I said, I've been successfully doing it for a few months now. Todd's been successfully doing it for years and years and years. I believe he said like 9 years he's been doing it successfully. All right. So I just wanted again to talk about the hosting situation. You can probably just start with SEO hosting because that's the easiest, and then once you get the hang of it, you can go to maybe do some shared hosting if you want. Maybe do some dedicated IPs with Bluehost or other places. But I think you're fine starting with any kind of SEO hosting company. Any of these four, they're all pretty easy to use. Todd he doesn't have a WHM. He just has the cPanel part. So it is a little different with him, and again, the support's not like it's kind of a smaller company, so the support's not like a big company you would get. Then SEOhosting.com is more expensive, but they have great support. And these two, SEO web hosting is very cheap. They do like $1.50 per IP. So it just depends what you want to do, but I think you're pretty safe starting with some SEO hosting. Just get your first whatever sites on an SEO hosting, and you should be fine. And then if you end up building a really big network, you can move to some dedicated IPs and some shared hosting like I'm doing. So I already have probably 200 sites. I'm going to probably have thousands. So I really got to mix it up. All right, but I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'll talk to you soon. All right, guys. So in this video, I'm going to show you how to set up WordPress, or the settings that I use. Remember, to get to your WordPress, you just go to wp-admin, and it'll bring you to this page right here. And you just log in with whatever you set up. I did admin and my password. Alright, so the first thing, some of my sites I'll update, some I won't, just to kind of mix it up. For this one, I'll go ahead and update to the latest version of WordPress. Again, some I will, some I won't, just to mix it up. I would say most of the time I do update it. Alright, so now we can get back to the dashboard. So, most of them update. Next, we'll go to our post. I'm going to go ahead and trash that. Now we'll go to our pages, and I'll go ahead and trash that. Make sure there's no links in here. I'm going to trash all these links. Alright, so now we'll go to our post categories, and we want to add in some categories here. So I'm going to do general health. I'm going to do weight loss. I'm going to do dieting, and I'm going to do building muscle. Alright, so just want to add in a few categories there. Now we want to go to settings, general, make sure everything's set up correctly here. We've got name of the site, tagline. This is really important. For this right here, what I like to do is check to see which version is getting the links. Okay, so if we go over to Open Site Explorer and type in our site name, alright, so this version has 842, 2336, so that's probably the version we'll be using. Let's try www. Alright, so it is without www that we're going to use. Alright, now if I was going to change this, like if the www had more links than this version, I would change this. So I would add www.here and then www.here, and I would go down and click Save Changes, and it'll log you out because it's now a different URL. So just be aware of that. But I do check to see which URL, whether it's with www or without it, gets more links. As you can see, since I added it, now that's in here. But now I'm going to go back and change it back because without it has more links for this site. So let's go update this again. I think it's going to log me out again. Yeah, because it changes. You see now it's showing without www. We want it to show without because this particular site has links built to the one without www, or most of the links. Okay, so I definitely always check that. Make sure you have a unique email in here. Make sure you have what you want up here, and we'll go ahead and just make sure that's saved. For most of my sites, I do add the permalinks. You can mix it up. You can do default if you want. You can do this for some. You can do this for some. You can do this for some. Whatever you want to do. Most of mine, I just do the regular post name. You can also do slash category, then slash post name. You can do that as well. So, whatever you want. I'll just do category post name for this one. But you don't want to always have the same thing. Just mix this up as well. But I would say most of mine are just with post name, I guess. Alright, so we got our permalinks in there. Now we're going to go to appearance. And I try to use different themes on a lot of them. So let's just go search for a decent theme here. I like to pick ones that show like the whole post. There's some that like show just partial post. I like to have ones that show the whole post. Sometimes it's hard to tell which ones show the whole post, but this one looks like it like shows the whole post. What I mean by that is instead of showing just like the first paragraph and then a read more link, I like ones that show the whole post. Okay, we'll use this one. It looks like it shows the whole post. So I'm going to activate that. Okay, now let's just go see what this theme looks like really quick. Alright. So we got our theme set up. Now we want to go to our plugins. Just delete the Hello Dolly theme. Activate your Akismet plugin, or Akismet, however you pronounce that. Enter your API key. I'm not going to do that, just because I'm not going to put my key right on the camera, but it's free to set up. Just if you don't have one, just go set it up. Okay, it's totally free. You can go right here and get one. So that's the first plugin I do is Akismet, just to control comment spam. The second one is Google XML Sitemaps. Install. And then the last one is one that I'll provide for you guys. It's called Link Juice Keeper. It's a .rar file. You got to upload it from your computer. It's basically a plugin where it takes the old links and redirects them all to your home page. So let me bring up a notepad here. So if my site's http healthyhomeandlife.com, okay. So if the previous owner of this site had a page, like building muscle fast, and he had 10 links going to this page, well, since we have this new site, this page doesn't exist anymore, okay? So what this next plugin is going to do is it's going to redirect those links to that page to our home page, okay? So it's basically we're not wasting the links, the previous links, because we don't have all the pages that the previous owner had, so it's going to redirect all the links to those inner pages that we no longer have to the home page. Alright, so we can keep all that link juice. So, a really powerful plugin. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to Upload. I'm going to go to Choose File, and I'm just going to choose the RAR file from my desktop. That's all you do. Okay, I'll provide that file for you guys. Just download to your desktop. Go to Plugins, Add New, Upload, Choose File, then just choose that RAR file. Okay, I'm going to pause while I do that. Alright, so here's the folder that my file's in. Here it is right here. Again, I'm going to provide you this file. It's just a RAR file. All you do is download the RAR file. You don't need to touch it. Again, you go to Plugins, Add New, Upload, Choose File, choose this file from your desktop. Okay, so I'm going to double click on that, Install Now, and Activate. Alright, so now we got that activated. It will, as you can see, this plugin helps you to keep the link juice by redirecting all non-existing URLs, which normally return a 404 error, to the front blog page using a 301 redirect. Alright. So again, a very powerful plugin, helps you not waste your link juice. But that's how you set up your blog. Now this blog is ready to roll. We can make a post. In the next video, I will show you how I make a post. Alright, see you guys then. Hey everyone, Greg here again. In this video, we're going to be talking about how I post to my network now. Of course, we already got WordPress installed. We're logged into WordPress here, and this is what we see. Let's just pretend this is one of my blog network sites. Of course, this is an example site, though, or moneymakers.com. It's not a blog network site, but we're just using it as an example. So we're going to pretend this is a network site. I would log in, and remember, I already have the site set up. We already showed the site setup video. Now this video is showing you how to post, okay? The first thing you need to know is I always make posts, okay, because the posts show up on the home screen. You can control how many posts show up on the home screen by going to settings, and I believe it's in reading. Yeah, settings, reading. And if you want 20 posts to show, you can do that. I usually do somewhere between 10 and 20. I usually leave it at 10. Then if I need more, I'll change it. All right, so let's go back here. That's how you can change that. But I always do post when I'm doing my network sites. All right. So let's go to post and add new. Then I got an article here. It's just on horses, just random topic. So it's going to paste in the article. Oh, and for articles, I get my content from a guy named. Let's see. His name is Fapsent. Or this is his email. Fapsent@gmail.com. He writes all my blog network content because he's cheap. He charges $1 per 250 words. Just tell him, your referral of Greg. Some people have complained that his articles aren't that great. I've never had a problem with them. Sometimes I'll get, a little bit of spelling errors, but it's always highlighted. All I have to do is go click on it and just change it really quick. I'll just look over an article for 20 seconds, just change up the spelling. But as far as like sentence structure, that almost always is on point for me. So if you have trouble with him, I apologize, but he's always good for me, okay? And he's cheap, and the content always passes Copyscape for me. So that's what I'm worried about. I'm now using unique articles each time. What I'll do is I'll order X amount of articles. I just order them 750 words. Sometimes I'll post all 750 words for the post. Sometimes I'll take out the first 250 words and post that, and then save the next 500 for the next post. Sometimes I'll take out half the article, post that, and then for another post I'll use the other half. So I split it up. Sometimes I use the whole article. Sometimes it costs me $3 to make one post. Sometimes it costs me $1.50. Sometimes it costs me a dollar. Whatever a third is, $1, obviously. So that's how I do it. I order 750 word articles. Sometimes I'll use the whole thing. Sometimes I'll use half. Sometimes I'll use a quarter or a third. That's how I do it. All right, and I order from this guy here. He sends me all unique content. I use the article once, and then I don't use it again. I used to spin, but I don't do that anymore. I think they're catching on to spinning. Mostly like really crappy spins they're catching on to. Like you'd be fine spinning, having it well spun and using it a decent amount of times, but just to be extra safe, I'm using unique content each time. Alright, so I got my article posted in here. I would just make sure it's formatted. Correctly. Alright. Now I'm going to go put my title in. Let's call it buying high quality horse equipment. Alright. Sometimes I'll bold this, center it, H1 it, H2 it, whatever. I'll switch things up when I do these. I don't always do it the same way. Sometimes I'll add categories, sometimes I won't. Sometimes I'll add tags, sometimes I won't. Sometimes I'll add both, sometimes I'll add neither. So I really switch it up. In this case, I'll just do animals for the category. I'm not going to do any tags. Next time I post, I might, for this whatever site I'd be building these links for, maybe I'll do no categories. Okay, so I really switch this part up a lot. One thing I always do now, almost always, is add authority links. So I'll just look for a good word to do for an authority link. A horse hack. I don't know what a horse hack is, so that'd be a good thing to link to. So I'll just go type horse hack in Google. You can also use the Finder tool, but Wikipedia is always good to link to, so I'll copy that, and we'll link out to Wikipedia. And the idea here is that the links going to our site are paired with links going to other trusted sites. If Google sees us linking to trusted sites and also linking to our site, The idea there is that they give us more credit. We're being linked to with trusted sites, which is a good thing. Sometimes I'll do one authority link, sometimes two, every once in a while three, every once in a while none. I'll switch that up. Right, but then I would work in my keywords. Okay, whatever I want to build a link for. So let's say I wanted to build a link for how to train a horse. Okay, and these are general articles, so how to train a horse probably isn't in here. So I'll just look for a good place to put it. So buying high quality equipment will ensure you and the horse are safe when you are learning how to train your horse. Okay. Then of course I would highlight this. I would link it to my money site. Sometimes I'll do the same anchor text for the title. I always put a title though for the keyword. I'll just put training horses for this one though. Like I'll switch it up. Sometimes I would put how to train your horse. Sometimes how to train a horse. Training horses. Train a horse. I'll switch that up. Then sometimes when I make posts, I'll link to 2 pages of my site. Sometimes 3 pages. Not that often. Usually it's 1 or 2. But if I want to add another one, I'll do the same thing. Just go add another link to another page on my site, or another totally different site. If I have another site on horses, you can do that as well. Just be careful pairing up the same 2 sites too many times. If I'm linking to site A on horses and site B on horses, you don't want to pair them up too many times. Just use good judgment there. You don't want to go build 100 links on 100 network sites, all linking to the same 2 sites. That's a pattern. All right. Another thing I'll do is I'll add videos sometimes. So I'll just go to YouTube. Again, you can use the Finder tool to find these quicker. I'm just showing you how to do this manually. Adding videos can help get your links indexed quicker. You just go to Share, Embed. It'll let me copy it. Alright, that one's not working. That's weird. I don't know if I'm frozen or what. Stupid ads. Alright, so let's try this again. Share, embed. I don't know why that's not working. That's weird. Let me try it in Chrome. There we go. So you just copy the embed code there. And then usually what I do is wherever I want it, I'll put it anywhere in the article. I'll do a space, like that. It's a blank line. And then I'll go to text. And I'll just put it right where that was. I'll do center, paste, and the center. That will center the video. And there's our video. You can also add pictures. Sometimes I'll add video and pictures. Sometimes just video. Sometimes just pictures. Again, I mix it up there. Sometimes neither. So that's how you make posts generally. I switch things up. I use unique content. Sometimes I'll just link out to one money page. Sometimes I'll link out to 2. You can link out to 2 pages on the same site, 2 different pages. You link out 2 totally different sites. Just try not to create patterns. And I do recommend putting in authority links with your post, because that, again, shows that you're also linking out to other trusted sites. Minimum of 1 usually. Sometimes I'll do 2, 3. All right. Now just hit publish, and that's it. I'm not going to publish this because it's just an example here. But that's how I make posts to my network. Hope you enjoyed this video. Talk to you soon.
Hey, this is Mike. I'm back with James, and this is exciting. This is a custom lesson for NHBers that Greg wanted me to ask James about, how to use Magic Submitter to submit to our beast, to our blog network. And James, he said this is quick and easy.
It's very quick and easy. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to click share screens. So just let me know when my screen comes up. And I'll show you just really how simple it is to be able to.
Okay, it's up.
Fantastic. So, in Magic Submitter, we just need to make sure if we're using WordPress blogs, all we need to do is just select WordPress blogs from the drop-down menu. And if we go into the Designer tab, which is the second tab along from the top, we can click on that. And what we need to do is we need to look for WP3 service. You can see it's the top one here on my site. All we need to do is just double-click on this and click Add Child Services, and then just put Add Login. So if I was to put mine in and just click Add, when I do that, it will then be added to the bottom of the Magic Submitter software. Just bear with me 1 second. You'll see now that my blog is in the bottom of the software down here. Can you see that?
I see it.
Okay. Then the next thing I would need to do is I would just need to put the details that I use to log into the back end of my blog in the login name, and I would put my password in here. Just bear with me 1 second, Mike, just while I'm going to do that, but obviously this is going to go out, so I'd like to make sure that the username and password is not on the video. Is that all right?
Yeah, it's just fine.
I'll have 500 people logging into it tomorrow. Just bear with me. I don't actually know how to pull screen sharing on this.
No problem. Yeah, it's not screen sharing right now.
Oh, is it not? Okay.
Yeah,
cool.
I see your face. I see your face.
Okay, fantastic. So I'm just going to quickly put my details in here. I'm just going to have to try and remember what they are. Just bear with me 1 second. It's the hardest bit of putting it in there. That's just remembering what your username and password is for your blog. Everything else is dead simple. Just bear with me 1 second. I'll just get in there now. Okay. Okay, great. So I've just added those in. So I'll start screen sharing again. So all I did was I added my public, and I've just put my login details and password in. Now, these WordPress blogs do require that there are categories, and by default there are no categories selected. So all we need to do is just click on this check mark, and then click on Run User-Defined Commands, so that Magic Submitter can just quickly log into AdBlog and pull our categories off. And then once it logs in and pulls the categories off, we'll then be able to post to it just like we would any other site. It should just take a couple of seconds for it to be able to go in. So I've got a message now come up saying submitted, and now if I click on this categories list, you'll see these are the categories that I've got inside my blog. I've got a Magic Submitter one and an uncategorized one.
Nice.
So that's perfect now. So all I would do is, as I did a campaign, if I wanted to, I could just select all of my blogs, and then it'll only post to them and none of the other stuff. Or you could obviously do it as part of a full campaign, so you're getting the power of the whole of Magic Submitter whilst posting to your own blogs as well.
Nice.
Okay? Is that straightforward enough?
It is. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. I'll stop this recording so we've got it saved in one place, and then we'll start again in a second.
Hey everyone, Greg here. I just wanted to give you a quick rundown of these custom tools I had built for myself. Originally, I wasn't going to give them to anyone, but blog networks are becoming even more and more important, so I'm gonna get it out there. Originally, I didn't want to just because of the piracy, but if it gets out, it gets out. I mean, they will help you organize and stuff and do things a little quicker. You can find your own ways of what you want to use them. So this is the Blog Network Manager. When you unzip it, this is what will come out. It might not have poster in here, but all this stuff will come out. All right, then you just click on Blog Network Manager. Okay, and then I'll explain these buttons in just a minute here. So what you want to do is, of course, add blogs when you get them. So let's use an example site, Delaware Moneymakers. That's just an example site. So you put in the login and password, and then you can choose a category. Okay, so I'm going to put this in money. Add. Okay, let's say we had example.com, admin, test. Let's say we want this one in health. Okay, and then let's say we got example2.com, admin, and then we also want this one in health. So we just go down and click health, and then add. Okay? So then you just click out of here when you add them all. You can organize by blog up here, like what network. A lot of my networks I use for general now because it seems like relevancy isn't like super important still, but still for my big niches I do try to build relevant networks where I'll just use it for that specific things, and that's for my bigger niches, for like my big clients and all that stuff. So I do have my specific niches as I've talked about, but a lot of my sites now are just general where I'll post anything to them. All right, but when I post, I usually do a relevant article to what I'm posting to. If I'm posting about LCD TVs or something like that, I'm going to make sure it's an article on TVs at least, or LCD TVs. Alright. Then you can expand the sidebar over there so you can see more. Just go to sidebar and you can go from normal to wide. I usually just do wide. And then what you do is you just pick the site you want to post to. Okay, this is all spinnable. You can spin this. Alright, so you ever say the title, or this title, or the subject, or this subject, regular spinning. Same thing with the article. Okay, and then to get your links in, you just do the href equals site.com. Then you can spin the anchor text, anchor 1 or anchor 2, whatever. You can spin more than that. It's just an example. Okay, so you just do it like a regular article, just like we would do for anything else. You can spin it. Well, what I've been doing lately? I've just been ordering articles and just posting that one article once. Just you'll probably want to spin your articles to save money. Now I used to get one article, spin it in Spin Rewriter, which is like, I think it's like $67 for a year. It just automatically spins it, and I would use it like 3 to 5 times. But now I just order articles and just use them once and then move on, just because it's easier for me. They're only $2 a piece, so it's not a big deal. These down here, I don't use this picture thing. I'm not even sure what it does. YouTube, this is really cool. Let's say we want to embed a video. Let's say we want to embed a video and make money online. This is so you don't have to go out and search YouTube and find videos and spin them in your content. Okay, so let's say I want to find 10 videos with that keyword in it. I just do find videos and then insert, and it'll randomly select one of those 10 videos to put in. Because if you're posting the same article to 5 sites, it's like a well-spun article, you're posting it to 5 sites, it's most likely going to pick 5 different videos. So each time it goes out, it's going to be a different video. Helps randomize. Okay. Same thing for the A, except this is for outbound authority links. So let's say we want, you can do PR5 or better for the keyword money. Add links. Same thing, it'll pick one of these 10 links, which are about money, and their PR5s are better, so that's a good outbound authority link. Because this can just save a lot of time because it's just automatic. You don't have to go to Google, search, find a good site with PR to link to, and copy the URL and all that. You just go here, click, put in the keyword, the PR up and above you want, and then hit search, and it will automatically put it in there for you. Okay. So let's now go make a sample post or publish it. Sometimes I publish from here. Sometimes I just go to the site and publish manually because with this you can't choose categories or tags. And sometimes I use them, sometimes I don't. I just like to switch it up. Everything random. Sometimes I'll post without tags or categories. Sometimes I'll post with them. Sometimes I'll post with just categories. Sometimes just tags. So I switch it up. I would say more often than not I just go in and manually post to the sites now, but I will use this sometimes. I mostly use this just for organization. Like you can kind of organize them by network. You can even organize them like okay, these sites all have 0 posts. These sites all have 1 to 5 posts. You can organize them like that. It's just a good organization tool. Keep track of all your sites. Alright. So now if I just click on this and go click publish, well, let's actually go to the site first. Alright, so there's nothing on here right now. So if we just go to publish, You'll see publishing on, completed. As long as this is okay, it's published. Alright, so now if we go back here and reload, there we go. Okay, it came out to this subject, spun article, anchor 1, it put in this random video, and then a link to twitter.com/money. Alright, so that's how it works. Of course, you would do a normal article and work in the authority links if you're going to use them, work in the videos if you're going to use them, work in your anchor text as you want to use them. I'm just showing you the code that you use with this tool. Alright, but again, I mainly use it for organization, to know, what sites are where and all that type of stuff. Alright, so that's that tool. I don't use the current or the picture. I don't even know what they do. He never explained it to me, so... Alright, now of course if you want to remove blogs, you just go to add remove. You would click here. You gotta make sure it's blue here, and then remove. Okay, and it will remove it. And of course we can organize by money, just the money sites, or health, just the health sites. Alright. Then the second tool that I'm going to share is called Finder. Some of you already have this. You can use this for other stuff, kind of like the same thing in a way. YouTube, we want YouTube videos on money again. Find videos, we want 10 of them. There's 10 videos on money. Okay. Some of this data is like weird. It comes back like the videos are weird. So what you can do is you can go to Notepad. You can paste them all in. And then you can just copy this. Go to edit, replace. And this is a really good tool for other stuff too. This edit, replace. You just paste that in, and we want to replace it with nothing. Okay, and then we got all the normal video links. Alright, so that's how you can do that. So that gets videos. This gets random authority links. Again, we want money, PR5 or better, 10 of them, add links. And this will give you the links. And it gives you it without the spin code, whereas the other program gives it with the spin code. And then the last one is pictures. So, we want 10 pictures on money, insert, there's 10 pictures on money. Okay? So, Blog Network Poster and Finder, those are the two tools I'm giving away for free. Please don't share them, NHB only, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Alright everyone, this video we're going to be covering commonly asked blog network questions. Now, these are the questions that I constantly get from people, so I want to shoot a video on it to help clear all this stuff up. So the questions are getting repeated over and over again. So let's start at the beginning. The first question I get is, do I make poster pages? And the answer is post. Okay, this is just an example that I'm doing. Don't pay attention, there's pages here. This is just for the example for the silo I did. But this would usually say 0, okay? And we would make post. So if this was a network site and I was going in to build links to my websites, I would go to post, add new, and I would make post. Okay, we want to do all posts for our blog network site. The reason we do that is because they show up on the home page. The home page is where all the juice is. Okay, if the link appears on the home page, you're going to get a lot more juice than if it was appearing on a page that's inside the website on an inner URL that has no links to it. Okay, so when we do our posts, those posts appear on the home page and they get that home page juice. So that's why we want to do post. So again, imagine these weren't here because this is just an example site. We would do post. Pages would say 0. We would start doing post. All right. The next question I get is, how many posts should I do on each site? All right, and the answer, it depends on what you want to do. The more links you have on your homepage, you're gonna get a little less out of each link. And I want to make sure you know that people greatly exaggerate how much less juice you get for every link. People say, well, if you have 10 links, you get so much more juice if you have 20. Not really. You don't really get that much more from 10 to 20. 10 to 500, yeah, that can start making a pretty big difference. But for the most part, average, I would say I don't want any more than 100 links on my home page. Okay, do I have some sites that have more? I'm sure I do. Okay, I don't worry too much about it, but that's the range that I wouldn't go too much over, is around 100. Because you're not losing that much juice for each additional link. You can change how many posts appear on the home page by going to settings, reading, and the max amount of posts that I have appear on the home page is usually 20. Usually I stick around 10 or under, but you can go, you can go to more than 20 if you want, but that's where I would put my ceiling. I do have some sites that go over 10. I wouldn't let them go over 20. That's just me. But this is where you can change that. Most themes come with 10 posts on the home page. That's the original setting. Some come with 3. Just be aware of that. when you might want to check each time, because you might make posts and you might do 4 posts, and the one of those posts won't show on the home page and you aren't aware of it, because some themes do only have 3 showing. So you may want to come check the settings, reading, and then set how many you have, how many you want. I usually leave it at 10, and if I get to 10 I want more, I'll increase it to 15, 20, whatever. But that's how you change that. And the max amount of posts again that I have appearing on the home page is 20. Most of my sites will either be at or around 10, eventually. Most of my sites are under 10 right now, though, because I have so many sites. The next question I get is, how many money sites can I link to from my post? Alright, so let's go to our post here. I set up a draft so we can go do an example. The answer is you can link to as many money sites as you want in a post. I usually don't go over 3. The thing you want to be aware of is creating patterns. Okay, if you say you got site A, site money A, money site B, money site C. If you link to all 3 in this post, okay, then you go to a different site and you link to all the same 3 again, and then you do it again and again and again. That's when you can start running into problems when you're creating patterns and you're linking to the same 3 money sites on tons of different network sites. If you do it 5 or 6 times, are they going to catch on? Probably not. If you do it 50 times, are they going to catch on? Probably not, but you want to be safe, okay? The 5 to 6 time range, you probably have like nothing at all to worry about. When you start getting up where you're doing it 20, 30, 40, 50 more times, that's when I would start like really paying attention to it. You're much more likely to get caught then. Will you get caught? Still probably not, but it's important enough that you want to pay attention to it and just avoid it, because it's something easy to avoid. You can link to money site A, B, C in this one, and then the next one you can link to A, D, and E. So you can switch it up like that, where you're using different combinations of money sites you're linking to. But I usually don't link to more than 2 money sites in the same post, though, and usually it's just 1. And what I do is I link to different pages of that same money site. Sometimes I'll link to 1 page of a money site, sometimes I'll link to 2, sometimes 3. I would say my average is 2. Okay? So to do an example for that, let's say that I'm linking to a gold site. Okay? So I might do let's say I want to rank for gold investing. So this will be my first site. Let's say my site is gold.com/gold investing. Okay, so that's 1 link. I'm going to the page gold investing. Gold investing. Alright, so that would be 1 link to another page. Let's say I also want to rank, or I'm also doing like a page on gold bullion coins. So I can also link to that page as well. Gold.com/gold bullion coins. And don't pay attention to the URLs, I'm just kind of giving examples here. Coins. Alright, so that would be linking to 2 pages of the same site. That's okay to do. I do it all the time. I did it a whole bunch for klks.com. Okay, so you don't want to do it every single time. Sometimes I'll just link to 1 page, just because they pay attention to the amount of referring domains and all that stuff. And you don't want to create patterns. You don't want to link to 2 pages every single time, like hundreds of times, or even 20, 40 times, or whatever. So that's why sometimes I'll just link to 1, sometimes 2, sometimes 3. I mix it up. Okay. But you can also link to different money sites, no problem there. Again, just be careful of the patterns. The patterns is the one of the things that you want to really be careful of. All of us have different resources. Some of us might have 5 network sites, some might have 30, some might have 100, some might have a few hundred. So you just gotta kind of keep the amount of resources you have in mind, and just be as safe as you can. Are you going to get caught for patterns? The answer is most likely not. Of course, the more patterns you create, the more likely you get caught, but more than likely you probably won't get caught. But why not take the precaution? You don't want to get a whole network taken out because you didn't take precautions that are pretty easy to take. So that explains the question of how many sites can I link to in a post. Can I link to different money sites? Can I link to different pages of the same site? All that, you can do all that. Just be aware of the patterns. Then again, max 20 posts on each page, or 20 posts on each network site for me. I usually keep it around 10, though, around there. I try not to go over 100 links for any one site. Most of my sites, I'd say almost all my sites are under 100 links. I might have a few that are over, but I have so many sites that I'm able to spread my resources out. So, but again, just use what you have as a resource. If you only have 5 sites, that's fine. You can. You're not going to create many patterns with 5 sites. That's one good part of having a little amount of sites is you can kind of go all out with 5 sites, because if you link to all the same 3 money sites on all 5 sites, that's not a big deal. It's only 5 sites. They can't say, oh, these 5 sites are. It's not. Remember, Google is a search engine. It's not like a human. There's billions of pages on the web. It's not like they're going to like zoom in laser beam on your 5 sites and say, oh, these 5 sites link to the same 3 sites. It's like a needle in a haystack. Okay, so just be aware of that. Now, if you have 100 sites all linking to the same 3 sites, are you going to get caught? Probably not, but it increases your chances a good amount. That's like 100 needles in a haystack. You're more likely to find it. Okay, so again, just be aware of those patterns. Those are the biggest questions I get. Also, one of the other questions I get is, do I need to find relevant? This is actually a big one. Do I need to find relevant network sites? The answer is no. Okay, you're getting a lot of your ranking power from the juice going to the site, not necessarily it being relevant. Does it being relevant help? I'm sure it does. Will it get more important? It may. Will it end up being vital? It may. Right now, it's not. Okay, most of my sites linking to KLKS and my other sites are totally irrelevant. A lot of people think that you have to go in and find, if you're doing a gold site, you got to find stuff on money or gold or, investing. Not the case. You can go find stuff on e-cigarettes or on government stuff, whatever, and the link juice helps you rank. It's the juice. The links going to that site, that's why I say focus on the links. The links going to your network site are what power you. All right? Now, another question I get is, can I link out to different niches from a site? So for example, say this was a network site, could I link out to gold on this post and the next post link out to SEO? The answer is yes, I do it. Okay, but of course, linking out to just one niche and retheming a site and just sticking to that one niche, is that safer? Yeah, I'm sure it is. Okay, if someone looks at your site and it's about gold and a manual of if it's about gold, if it's about dogs, if it's about SEO, they're more likely to know what's going on. So it's a little greater risk, but I've had no problems with it. Right now it's working extremely good. It just depends how safe you want to be. Of course, you can go out and get sites and make them one theme. If you're in just one big niche, or even just like 2 big niches, you can split up your sites. Have one network for this niche, one network for this niche, if you want to be safe. Most of my network sites, I'll link out to anything. Okay, I do have network sites, probably like 50 of my 500 or so, that are for one specific niche where I won't go outside that niche. But for the most part, most of my network is general. I'll link to anything on that site. It doesn't matter if it's in the same niche. All that matters is the article I'm writing that's linking out to my money site is relevant. So for example, if I'm linking out to my gold sites, I want to make sure I do an article on gold. Now the next post I do on this site, it can be about SEO, but the article has to be about SEO. Okay, it can't be about gold and I work in SEO. I won't do that. But I will do different topics on the same site. But I'll split up my network where I have those 50 sites for my most important niche, and I won't link to any other niche from those 50 sites. So I do that a little bit, but most of my network is general, where again I'll link to anything. And just keep the safety in mind. If you want to be extra safe, just link to one niche from that network. Just dedicate a network to that niche and only link to that niche, and that's being a little more safe. How you set up your sites can help you be more safe. I just install just regular WordPress themes and just make posts. Some people will go extra mile. They'll actually get a designer. They'll do a whole website design so it looks like a normal website. They'll put in social stuff. All the extra steps you do is going to help you be a little extra safe. You just got to make the decision, is it worth your time? For me right now, I don't see them catching on to it yet, so I'm not that worried about it. If things start changing, then I'll start changing with it. But right now, I don't see the need for me to do it. But again, if you want to be safer, you can do all those extra steps. Add social to your site, do professional design, only theme them to one specific niche. You can do all that if you want. I personally don't do most of that right now. Okay, and those are all the biggest questions I get about blog network sites. If you have any other questions, of course, we'll answer them on the webinars. Talk to you soon.